McEnany Field, O'Gorman High School, 41st in Kiwanis in Sioux Falls for the second straight week, the second time in 7 days. This time, the defending state champions, second-ranked Lincoln Patriots, are at the MAC to take on the fourth-ranked Knights. Lincoln with a 55-7 win last week at Rapid City Stevens, dominant from the jump, and O'Gorman shut out by the preseason number 1 Harrisburg Tigers, 14-0 here in the Dakota Bowl. It's our game of the week on the simulcast, Fox Sports 98.1 radio, along with AM 1230 and KWSN.com, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com on the air with us, and new this year, Outlaw Channel 13.2, over-the-air television for our game of the week on Outlaw Channel 13.2. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. Once again, same booth, same field, but a different quarterback for O'Gorman tonight. The starter last week, Talon Black, not on the sideline tonight. And here come the Lincoln Patriots, who were just as dominant last week as they were all year last year. What kinds of things are you looking forward to or most concerned about as this game kicks off?
Well, is O'Gorman going to be able to score? I think that's the first concern. It's a different quarterback. It's a passer this week, but not a runner. And where last week Black was a little more of a runner, not a passer. So it's a whole different identity, but maybe it'll open some things up for O'Gorman. Lincoln, it's hard to assess because Stevens is just so terrible. I mean, they're bad and figuring things out, but it was a good game for Brody Schaefer to get his feet wet, get adapted to the speed of the game, and go out and rely on that great run game, which Josh Myers only needed 9 carries to rush for over 200 yards.
This is a rematch of the state championship game from last year, but rematch would be a loose interpretation of the word rematch. 31-7, Patriots got the win, graduated a bunch of guys, but certainly have more coming back this year, especially on the defensive side, than the Knights have. And we have got a lot more to sink our teeth into throughout this next half hour with our players to watch and our keys to the game. But let's talk about high school football at large in Class 11 AAA, starting with our slate for tonight. This is the game of the week. These are the highest 2 ranked teams that are pitting themselves against each other. But just about 10 minutes from here over at Howard Wood Field, we have a west side showdown between Roosevelt and Jefferson, both teams getting season-opening wins last week. The Riders, under their new head coach, Jason Stahlberg, sweated it out, averted a 2-point conversion try by Rapid City Central to win by 2, while Jefferson took care of Watertown 38-7. How much of a game do you expect that to be?
I think we'll see 5 blowouts in all those games. I mean, it's hard to try to sugarcoat any of them. I think our game tonight on paper, I mean, really, you think it should be a blowout? Roosevelt, Jefferson. Roosevelt is doing some good things, but I went out to their practice. They had 70 kids. Coach Stahlberg, very enthusiastic, a ton of energy, trying to build that up. It was great for them to get a win, but it came down to a 2-point conversion against Rapid City Central. And Jefferson, I went out to their practice, and they look like a state championship-level team. The other games, too, I think Brandon Valley will get after Stevens. And I think maybe the one that will be close is the Spearfish Central game. Spearfish with a big win last week against T. But then Washington, Tommy Hoffman out with a concussion and then losing one of their star receivers for the season. I think Harrisburg will probably get after them also.
And our final Augustana University game to look at is Washington and Harrisburg. That is tomorrow night, the Tiger Bowl in Harrisburg for the number 1 team's home opener. Now, Washington went to the Pigskin Classic in Brandon last week. In it the whole game, 20-14. The Lynx got the win. But what kind of a resistance do you expect Washington to give the Tigers?
You know, the one thing I'll say is Washington played well defensively. They couldn't score. Brandon's always good defensively. But then with Hoffman getting hurt, I mean, that's a lot of experience that you're losing right there. And then Bonwell Whitty, too, one of the star receivers being knocked out. So they're going to have to come in and have a great defensive performance. But with the struggles we saw with Harrisburg's offense, with this new developing scheme they're trying to do, I mean, there might be opportunities for Washington's defense to keep them in the game. But I would expect Harrisburg on Tiger Bowl night to come out with a big win.
We'll be chatting about all these games tomorrow morning on the Fox Sports 98.1 KWSN Coaches Show. Almost 25 years of providing that 9 a.m. program. 8 coaches from around the metro area, including all 7 that we know of in the Sioux Falls area for 11 AAA football. And now it's time to check out the top 5 poll as we see the bigger picture, and nothing except Jefferson replacing Washington at number 5 is different from the preseason poll before last week's games kicked off. Our poll brought to you by Touchmark at All Saints. Harrisburg number 1 by 14 points over number 2 Lincoln. Then Brandon Valley a bit back, and then it's really separated those top 3 from the rest of the bunch. O'Gorman coming in at number 4, not moving because they lost to the number 1 team, and they had a competitive game throughout. And then Jefferson, who got the 38-7 win over Watertown last week, replaces Washington at number 5 after the Warriors' road loss. What to you is the big picture of those 5 teams right now? It's very early. Who feels like they're going to compete with Harrisburg for that state title?
Well, I think Jefferson's the best team in the state. I think they're the best team right now.
I think this is why we do the segment here.
I think they have a lot of gifted athletes. They have all 5 offensive linemen back from last year. They're big. They're physical. They have an identity now. Coach Benedetto, it was a little bit of humility for him, but he also knew we were going to have to take some licks and some growing pains. They won the state title. They lost a ton of great players. They had to use last year to develop players. He's a very good coach. They did a great job of that. And when I went out and saw them, I was very impressed with what they're doing. I think they got a great D coordinator, a great staff. I think they're going to be the team that moves up quickly. I think O'Gorman being 4th is based off of them being O'Gorman. I think they got to figure out how to score points because they can't just always have a defensive slugfest night in and night out.
Yeah, and we're going to get a lot better of an idea about these teams, particularly Jefferson next week in the President's Bowl. Of course, that doubleheader out at Howard Wood Field on a Saturday. We'll be on the air at 3 o'clock for those 2 games on our Games of the Week. This week, though, it's number 2 Lincoln taking on number 4 O'Gorman. We're just over 20 minutes from kickoff at McEnany Field, and our Central Bank pregame show will continue with a look into these teams' profiles, what they'll bring to the table, and also players to watch and keys to victory. All on your way on the simulcast, Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and Outlaw Channel 13.2.
Touchmark at All Saints is a full-service, award-winning retirement community set in the heart of historic downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
At Touchmark, we want to preserve the independence that you have.
We want to make sure that every part of who you are is fulfilled.
I would recommend this to anybody. I think this is just a great way to spend your retirement years.
At the end of the day, we're here to live the full life.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
For the number 2 ranked Lincoln Patriots, at number 4 O'Gorman, 41st and Kiwanis, the Big Blue OG Shield at midfield as the late afternoon rush hour traffic breezes by on 41st Street. And it's now time to jump into our team profiles for each squad, brought to you by South Dakota State University. And we'll start with the road team from Lincoln, ranked number 2 in the state, coming in with a victory last week at Rapid City Stevens. Curtis said, don't take a grain of salt. How about a dump truck of salt from that 55-7 scrimmage out west? But they were impressive. They just got touchdowns by the bundle. In fact, 8 rushing touchdowns. They ran for 342 yards, 13 yards per carry, and of course a lot of those numbers were racked up by the mid-third quarter. They had 420 total yards of offense, and their new quarterback, Brody Schaefer, both ran and threw for 78 yards. But having said that, tough to really gauge how good they are. What did you learn, if anything? Or what do you want to learn tonight?
Yeah, it's tough because, they lost 7 of their top offensive linemen. Not all 5 starters, but then their 2 backups also. They lost their top 2 receivers, one being Jack Smith, who was, the best player in the state last year. They lost their quarterback, who was the best quarterback in the state last year. They lost their tailback, who went to USD. I mean, they were loaded, and they had to replace all these spots. But they knew they had a few guns or a few bullets still in the chamber. Josh Myers, they knew was a very explosive, talented running back, and they thought he's the one that we can kind of fall behind him, let him guide us, and then we'll create and get better at these other spots. What they didn't know, though, was offensive line. How are we going to be? And I think that's where they came away from Stevens thinking, we're not sure. We're really not sure after that one.
Jared Fredenberg, the head coach, believe it or not, now in his 8th year, longtime loyal assistant in the public schools, came over from Roosevelt after the 2016 season, after Aaron Beavers had led this program to 3 state titles and a lot of respectability. Of course, Beavers has been a part of the O'Gorman coaching staff the last few years. But, I mean, it was such a climb for Jared to get the roster built, a lot of lumps, and then some close calls for a couple of years, and it all built up to last year. And you mentioned how you think Jefferson's the best team this year. Obviously, Harrisburg's very strong. Do you consider Lincoln a part of the mix?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, his ascent is very much like Brian Hermanson.
Yeah.
Just like that. Brian was stuck at Roosevelt for a long time being an assistant. And wasn't sure if he was ever going to get that. His story is great. If you ever have a chance to hear it, he had given up. And his wife, Mary, was like, hey, just one more time, apply for this. And he got it and then went on to do unbelievable things at Washington. And that's what's really happening for Jared here. And it took a little longer because they really had to rebuild that culture and get everything back on track and kids to buy in. But he's got that now, and their numbers are great. I think Harrisburg, Lincoln, Brandon, Jefferson, those 4 are going to be the 4 at the end. I just think right now, this early in the season, Jefferson is the team ahead of everyone else. I think Harrisburg on paper is the best. I think Lincoln could be the best by the end of the season. So it's exciting to see that you have 4 teams that you feel really good about.
Team profile for the 4th-ranked O'Gorman Knights, brought to you by South Dakota State University on our Central Bank pregame show as the Knights get set to host Lincoln. And Brian Hermanson still on the O'Gorman coaching staff. I mean, after 3 state titles at Washington, of course, he went to watch his son play college football, and he's been an assistant with you for the Sioux Falls Storm, as has Jared Fredenberg for many years, and joined the Augustana staff and the USF staffs, and now he's at O'Gorman. And this is a crew led by Jason Poppinga, who is in his 9th year. He came here the year before Jared Fredenberg was hired at Lincoln. So we'll start there with the head coach. Poppinga was a state titleist and a state runner-up in Pierre. Of course, since he left, they just continued to flourish under Steve Steele, 7 straight state titles. But he's worked a little magic at O'Gorman, like you kind of have to when you have smaller rosters and smaller dudes.
Yep. I think the year they won the state title when it was played in Brookings, because of the dome renovations, they beat Brandon Valley, and they should not have beat them. Brandon was the far superior team. Great game plan. That really catapulted OG up to we do belong in AAA, because at that time there was a lot of people saying we should drop down to AA. Our enrollment, our size, our roster size, we just can't keep playing with these AAA teams game in and game out. And the Poppingas came in and said we can. They created a problem, though, for themselves, because it is every week is a huge game for them. They could beat anyone, but they could lose to anyone too, because they have zero depth. And they really have to be schematic on how they get certain players the ball. And right now, they just don't have those certain players.
Right. Constantly plugging dams is what they do. The Knights losing to the Patriots last year in the state championship game, 31-7. Those two teams combined for 93 points and 1,000 yards when they had those big, full, and experienced rosters in the regular season last year. And last week, to open the 2024 season, the Knights, defense kept that game close all night against number 1 Harrisburg, but the offense could not put points on the board. A couple turnovers in the second half were extremely costly, and a 14-0 loss. They held the Tigers to 282 yards, which really is a feat. So Shannon Poppinga, Jason's brother, the defensive coordinator, put together an excellent game plan, and they'll need that again against a Lincoln offense that was mighty explosive in their first game last week. And as we may have mentioned, this O'Gorman team returns just 4 starters from last year, and I think that counts Sullivan Schlimgen twice because he plays both sides of the ball. He's a North Dakota State Bison to be as a linebacker, but he also
South
is a key
Dakota
part.
State.
What did I say? North Dakota State?
Yeah, don't mess that one up. We're going to hear. Yeah, the emails are coming in now. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, I know that, but I had Ryland Satter in my head because he's the Ryland Satter position this year.
You know, that's the downfall, though. I think going into game 1, everyone thought that, including Jason Poppinga, but what you saw is he's not. He's not Satter. He's Schlemgen. He's a different breed. He's a different player. The other thing we saw was game 1, him taking every rep, and then on offense having to motion consistently every single set and formation and play. It really wore him down. And I look to see tonight Jason Poppinga not having to move him around so much and shifting other players around him to hide him and get him the ball.
So the Knights trying to figure out ways to get him more involved. He's going to be a tough guy to hide, though. He's really good, but he's a tough guy to hide at 220 pounds. And this is an O'Gorman squad that had Hayden Gross as a senior. He's at Northwestern. He was the quarterback. Threw for over 2,500 yards. You had Maverick Jones, the all-time leading rusher in O'Gorman history. Think about all the Steve Keeter teams. They ran the ball 90% of the time. And Maverick Jones under the Poppinga in the new era, all-time leading rusher. He's at St. Thomas. And then Ryland Satter, the Swiss Army knife, both sides of the ball. Now he's the one that is at North Dakota State. So O'Gorman's still trying to figure out who their dudes are. One of them is going to be our player to watch, brought to you by Central Bank. And who will Lincoln's player to watch be as well? Those plus the keys to the game as we draw closer to kickoff at McEnany Field for number 2 Lincoln and number 4 O'Gorman. It's our game of the week on. Well, let's watch the O'Gorman Knights take the field. If you're watching on TV, might as well. Don't want to bury that lead. Here come the cheerleaders. Here comes the squad. You know, they have a few fewer players than Lincoln. That's the one thing I noticed with the Patriots lined up on the other side of the field. It's about a half to 2/3.
Well, the thing you see is, half or 2/3 of the roster. And then if you look at the lineup, you got some guys wearing like number 64 that look like they're about 5'6", 140 pounds. They shouldn't be wearing a number 64. And that means that they're probably a sophomore suiting up for the varsity game. And that's what Coach Popping has got to do.
Yeah.
Because you see they had 3 big injuries the first game, 3 guys walking out hurt. They cannot afford to have injuries. And last year, it was a luxury. They got through the season with their horses not getting hurt, and that's what got them to the state title.
Number 2, Lincoln. Number 4, O'Gorman. Our pregame show continues. Kickoff just about 10, maybe a few fewer minutes away on the simulcast. Fox Sports 98.1, DakotaNewsNow.com, and Outlaw Channel 13.2.
Back to school means back to routine for you and your family. Make Dakota News Now part of your routine every morning from 5 to 7.
And I'll have your first alert to whether you need a coat or a jacket or some extra time to get to work.
Your first alert to the news that happened overnight and what to expect for the day ahead.
Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Living with less pain means living at your best. But an action-packed life can wear your body down. Avera Orthopedics keeps you moving with total joint replacements for pain you don't have to live with. Find relief with the region's largest orthopedic physician team of specialized surgeons so you can keep moving forward. Avera, moving health forward.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
Drawing closer to kickoff, our second game of the week of the 2024 high school football season in the Metro. Fox Sports 98.1, DakotaNewsNow.com, Outlaw Channel 13.2, a new option to watch our games this season. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs on the Central Bank pregame show. And let's dive into our Vernite keys to the game. Number 2, Lincoln, and number 4, O'Gorman. Starting with the Patriots, control the game, running the ball. I mean, they can try to do that. They probably tried to do that last week, Curtis, but they just got like 10, 13 yards of carry and 50 and 60-yard touchdowns right away.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have quite that success. O'Gorman's going to be better defensively than what they faced last week, but they still need to be okay with 2 to 3 yard runs rather than 12 to 13 yard runs, because you don't want Brody Schaefer in those big third down situations. You want to control the game for him and manage when he has to pass.
For the Knights, find big and explosive plays. I think running the ball and controlling the clock, that'd be nice. You're keeping it out of Lincoln's hands. It's going to be difficult. They need to hit some home runs.
They have to. It's got to be a Dawson Bauer or so. I mean, he was non-existent in the first game, and there's only so many different ways you can get Schlemgen the ball, and it's got to be through screens or those quick outs. They need big home run plays. They don't have a Maverick Jones. They don't have a Satter, but you got to find someone that can do it.
And now our players to watch. There's plenty, but we only get to pick one per team. It's brought to you by Central Bank, and for the Patriots, we've mentioned the name a couple times already. 201 yards on just 9 carries last week. 6-foot senior running back Josh Myers. He's been backup in third string the last couple of years. He's shown the flashes. Now it is his show.
Yeah, and he banked on himself. He came in and trained with us. He opened a lot of eyes, gained attention, but only got some D2 offers. And he thinks he's better than that, so he turned a lot of those away and wanted to really bank on his senior year coming out, playing well, and getting a scholarship at the level he thinks he can play at. And he showed that in game 1.
Very speedy, very explosive, and on the other side of the ball, a running back as well. Our player to watch for O'Gorman, he popped out last week, an offense that didn't score a point, only got a couple hundred yards and change of total offense, but Gavin Hamrick made it hammer time when he got the ball against Harrisburg. That's Hammer reference number 1 for the evening, if they count in the pregame. 6'3" junior, transfer from Brookings, Curtis. 15 carries, 68 yards last week. Not spellbinding, but he showed he can do some damage between the tackles.
Yeah, and he doesn't start at running back, but he plays a lot. And he's a totally different type of running back than Teasy is. Teasy, he's going to try to get to the edge, and Hamrick's going to earn the hard yards inside. And you saw he was the one positive for Gorman offensively against Harrisburg. So what can they build off of that from week 1?
Jason Poppinga, O'Gorman's head coach, actually did list Gavin Hamrick as the starting tailback for tonight, but there is that 1-2 punch because it's very much a little thunder and lightning thing with those two running backs. And the Knights starting lineups have just been introduced. Players out on that field, and they're looking to score their first point of the 2024 season. There's other players to talk about. There's a coin toss and a kickoff. It is all coming your way next. That does it for the Central Bank pregame show. We are 2 minutes away from the kickoff to our broadcast at McEnany Field. Number 2 Lincoln, number 4 O'Gorman. Our game of the week on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Metrosports.tv.
Hello. Whether you're in the city, on a farm, or in a sort of big town, your Avera is always nearby. Our culture of compassion makes us a trusted health system, so you have confidence in our care when and where you need it. Comprehensive health insurance coverage you can count on, and trust that we are investing in your community so everyone can thrive. Team Green never stops working for you. That's how Avera moves your health forward.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Touchmark at All Saints is a full-service, award-winning retirement community set in the heart of historic downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
At Touchmark, we want to preserve the independence that you have.
We want to make sure that every part of who you are is fulfilled.
I would recommend this to anybody. I think this is just a great way to spend your retirement years.
At the end of the day, we're here to live the full life.
We're about ready to kick things off at O'Gorman. The number 4 ranked Knights hosting number 2 Sioux Falls Lincoln. It's our Avera Game of the Week on Fox Sports 98.1, DakotaNewsNow.com, Metrosports.tv, and the Outlaw Channel 13.2. The Patriots, defending state champs, beating Rapid City Stevens 55-7 on the road last week. The Knights losing 14-zip at home to number 1 Harrisburg. OG won the toss and deferred to the second half. They will be kicking it off left to right into the sun and about a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. It is about 80 degrees, just a gorgeous first Friday in September 2024. One returner, the explosive Josh Myers, back at the 10-yard line for Lincoln. Here comes the right-footed boot from Lawrence Hillman, end over end, and it goes to an up man, far sideline at the 18. He cuts left, 25, through some traffic at the 30, and then finally taken down to about the 35. That return came from Edison Knoll. So here comes the Lincoln Patriot offense, 420 yards last week, most of it on the ground, 343 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, and 201 yards came from Josh Meyer, our Central Bank player to watch. Josh Myers, the tailback, wearing number 4. Shotgun set for Brody Schaefer, the first year starting quarterback. He's a sophomore. 2 wide left, 1 wide right, in motion right to left now, taking the handoff, and a great backfield tackle is made at the 26-yard line for a 3-yard loss. Sullivan Schlimgen, the future South Dakota State Jackrabbit linebacker, on the spot.
Well, and you think you can outrun him, but, I mean, he's so fast. He's so gifted. He's going to be an exceptional football player in college.
Patriots scram to the line after the 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13, play action. Schaefer rolling right, throwing. Catch is made in the flat by Plord, the tight end. He is wrapped up after making his way to the 42-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down. Another new Patriot starter is the tight end Joseph Plord, a 6'2", 220-pound senior. Schaefer beat out Blaze Showers, a senior, in a summer-long quarterback competition to replace Tate Schaefer, Brody's older brother, the most prolific quarterback not only in Lincoln history, but South Dakota 11 AAA history. 3rd and 3 from the 42, and it's a handoff right side going nowhere. Josh Myers is plowed at the 40. May not have even made that. It'll bring up 4th down for the Patriots. What a start for this O'Gorman defense.
Well, and Lincoln's just not getting to the linebackers. The O'Gorman linebackers are flying around. That's 3 really good tackles by them. You know, Lincoln, Plor caught that ball. That's another guy they had to replace. Dawson Seam, all-state tight end for them last year, that's now playing football at Northern State.
Patriots needing to punt. Edison Knoll doing the honors, standing at his own 30. Wind behind him, end over end. Short, though, not a lot of hang time. It's taken by Dawson Bauer, and he is crunched by about 4 different Patriots right where he caught it at O'Gorman's 28. So that's where the Knights will start their first possession. But a 3 and out for that O'Gorman defense, with its offense struggling so mightily last week, keeping the Knights in the game, losing to number 1 Harrisburg, and now for a second straight week, a home game to start the season, this time against the number 2 team in the state and last year's defending champions. Well, the champions last year, this year's defending champions. And a new quarterback for O'Gorman. Talon Black last week, Hunter Say-Yes-Von this week. First down, his own 27, and a quick throw to the right side. Dawson Bauer catches it in the flat 30. Angles right 35, dives ahead near a first down. Taken down by a defensive back at the 36 is where he's marked down, a yard shy of the first.
Yeah, and we didn't see that all last week. But one difference, though, those 2 corners for Harrisburg are really, really good. And they really put a lot of fear into you, play calling wise, trying to go at them.
2nd and 1, O'Gorman, Say-Yes-Von, with backs to each side of him from the gun. Handoff to one of them, and that is Hamrick, just moving off right side, twisting and diving forward to the 39, a 3-yard gain. 2 more than O'Gorman needed, so the Knights get a first down just shy of the 40. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs here on the simulcast for a 4th straight season. Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2. 2 different web streams, metrosports.tv and dakotanewsnow.com. First down, Knights, 2.5 minutes in. Scoreless game, same set as the last play. Backs to each side of the quarterback. Bauer in motion right to left, handoff up the middle, and Hamrick just tries to get, he has the ball stripped away from him. It's on the turf, recovered by O'Gorman back at the 39, the original line of scrimmage. Saving the day was Matt Steffen, a wide receiver. It'll bring up 2nd and 11.
But getting good movement up front. I mean, he's doing it. He's very good at absorbing that first hit, running through that, and continuing to get positive yards. They were able to punch that ball out as he was spinning.
So it's a 2nd and 10. The Knights need to get to the 49. Say yes, Vaughn keeps it himself off the left side, has some room, pulls ahead, and is pinned to about the 47 between the numbers. 2 yards shy of the first down, an 8-yard gain by the new quarterback.
Well, and I think Lincoln's okay with that. They want him running. You could see he is not comfortable running the ball. He was just waiting for someone to hit him, wondering when the hit was coming. Lincoln went out to the pitch man right away and said, you got to run, and he did. He did a nice job getting 8 yards, but they're going to want to continue to make him do that.
Hunter say Yesavon. 3rd and 2, the quarterback hands it off to Schlimgen in the backfield right, looking for room. Got one last burst across midfield as the Patriots were chasing him, and gets the first down in Lincoln territory at the 49 for a gain of about 5. And that's 2 first downs for the Knights.
Yeah, and they went heavy
drive.
there. They had Hamrick and Schlimgen there in the backfield. You know, they're playing for first downs right now, getting the offense moving, and really a good strategy for a new, inexperienced quarterback.
Just over 4 minutes into the game, it is scoreless. So Gorman driving on Lincoln left to right. First down from the Patriots 49. Say Yesavon hands it off. Schlimgen up the middle, plenty of room behind the right side of the line, and gets near a first down to the 39. He's just dragging Patriots with him. They do give him the first down, and O'Gorman in business.
Yeah, and the heavy package, they continue with it. Well, 2 things you're seeing, 2 big backs, and then also not moving Schlimgen around, letting him just run straight ahead rather than so much lateral running that we saw last week.
Knights breaking the huddle. Royal blue jerseys and pants, white helmets, shotgun set, say Yesavon. Backs to each side, hands it off to one of them again, and this time the Patriots sniff it out. Several guys converge. It started with Kish Ederling, the nose guard, no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. McEnany Field seats about 6,000. It's very close to full. Last week an overflow crowd. Might have been 8, might have been 9,000. Lincoln has almost its entire grandstand completely filled, and the same thing here on O'Gorman's home side. 2nd and 10 Knights from the Lincoln 39, a drive that is 3 minutes old. Fake handoff, throw left side. Schlimgen catches it 40, through traffic 35, knocks down a couple defenders, and falls ahead to the 32. It's a gain of about 7. It'll bring up 3rd and short. O'Gorman 2 of 2 on 3rd down so far.
And that was a creative way of using Schlimgen like Ryan Satter right there. That's exactly what Coach Poppinga did. He disguised it. He had Schlimgen on the opposite side in the backfield, and he slipped underneath and got out for the screen pass.
3rd and 4 Knights from the 39. Say Yesavon from the gun. One wide right. Hand off right. Hamrick trying to get around the edge. He's got the 30 near the first down. It's close as the Patriots chased him to the boundary. He took a couple of them for a ride. Nimbly, the safety, Knutson, the cornerback, and they're not even going to spend much time measuring. It is a first down at the 29-yard line. 4 first downs for OG.
Yeah, and you can see Hamrick out in space, a nice stiff arm. He's going to be tough to bring down, him and Schlimgen both.
Hamrick, a 6'3", 205-pound transfer from Brookings. 1st and 10. Play action, throw, dart over the middle, caught and dropped at the 16-yard line. Dawson Bauer, the intended wideout. Check that, Matt Steffen. Good coverage. Brings up 2nd and 10.
The thing you could see with that play, though, John, is the run game so far for O'Gorman. He had all day to throw. We didn't see that at all for Black last week. There was no run game, no protection. The run game has slowed down that defensive line for Lincoln and given O'Gorman time to throw the ball.
Hunter Sayesavon, the quarterback. 2nd and 10 from the Lincoln 29. Throw over the middle. It's behind the receiver. It's intercepted. Edison Knoll has it in the Lincoln backfield at the 20. Angling right, 25, 30, near out of bounds at the 35. Boy, the Knights matriculated down the field with a new quarterback, and the Patriots ripped the ball away from them on an interception and a 25-yard return.
And this is inexperienced, terrible footwork here. He's running instead of getting himself planted. The receiver is wide open. He throws behind the receiver, and then it gets tipped, and as soon as you see a tip ball, always ends up going to the defense, and Lincoln gets the easy interception.
Jay Smoller was the intended wideout, and so now the Patriots, who went 3 and out on their first drive, take over at their own 33. Scoreless game at O'Gorman, 5:26 remaining first half. And the quarterback, Brody Schaefer, hitches, throws left. It's caught. Open field, Mikey Roach, but an immediate tackle on the near numbers at the 38. A nice wide throw, and it goes for about 4 yards.
Yeah, they threw that all the way across from hash to hash, and they didn't have enough guys to block the play.
Quick snap, throw over the middle, wide open. Plord, the tight end, catches it but falls down. He caught it at O'Gorman's 44. He had a lot of space in front of him, but he falls to the turf. It's a nice first down gain for Lincoln of about 15 yards. But, boy, how many more could that have been?
And there's two great things on this play, John. One, Brody Schaefer sees the blitz coming off the edge and makes Gorman pay for it by hitting the hot receiver wide open. Second, Josh Myers steps up and picks up the blitz and stymies it, sending a message saying, don't come in here.
The O'Gorman defense took a timeout after that completed pass, so it stopped the clock with 5:02 remaining, first quarter, scoreless game. Lincoln 3 and out and punt on its first drive after O'Gorman won the toss and deferred. Then the Knights get 4 first downs and gain about 50 yards until the interception from the first-time starting quarterback, Hunter Sayesavon. Edison Knoll returned it from about the 10 to the 33, and the Patriots, in just a couple plays, are now in Knight territory. Lincoln, defending state champs, wearing their white jerseys and pants, red numerals, white helmets, and jogging back onto the field. The Knights have a 3-down lineman look. Patriots have 4 receivers on the left side of the formation, 1 to the short side right. It's an empty backfield. And now Josh Myers goes from wide out to running back right next to the quarterback, Brody Schaefer. Throws it left to Myers, catches it 47, 45 now near side, past a defender 40. And then finally the Knights able to force him out near the first down at about the 35. And they do move. No, that's a yard shy. Gain of about 9.
And Dawson Bowers got to step up and make him go inside to Schlemgen, who was coming to help.
2nd and 1 Lincoln from the OG 35. Right to left near hash. And a handoff to Myers off to the right side. Sheds one tackle in the backfield. Turns the corner. Bulls into some defenders at about the 32. And that's where that play ends. He only needed 1. He got 3. First down for Lincoln.
Man, Schlemgen is fun to watch, though, at line. But he just missed Myers there, but he was diving. He attacked downhill right away.
More no huddle for the Patriots from the OG 33. It's a keeper. Schaefer after the fake, angling right. Taken out of bounds at about the 29, a short gain of about 3 yards. The clock does keep going, so he stayed in. We're down to 4:20 in the first quarter in a scoreless game, and the Patriots hurry right back up. 1 wide, now 2 wide left, 1 to the short side right. Schaefer on 2nd and 7 from the 29 of OG. Play action, looking right the whole time, throwing right, and it's caught. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Another first down for Lincoln. That's about a 12-yard gain, and this time the recipient is Everett Starks, a first-year starter.
And that was a great throw, John. I mean, that's a sophomore as he fumbles.
Schaefer fumbles, whistle never blew. O'Gorman picked it up at the 23-yard line, about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Patriots moving at breakneck speed on their second drive. They got all the way down the field by about 40 or 50 yards like O'Gorman did on the last drive, and both of those possessions end in a turnover.
Yeah, and the play before, a great throw by the young quarterback. They can do a lot of great things if he can be doing that. He tries to do a pump fake and then hand off on the draw, and the ball just slips out of his hand, fumbles, and turnover for O'Gorman.
So a turnover apiece, scoreless game. O'Gorman takes over. 4 minutes remaining first quarter at their own 24, and it's a play to the left side, and it's a play that goes to Logan Mebius, a wide receiver, for about a 4-yard gain. Caught it on the left side, a little bit of a screen. Tried to tunnel his way through some defenders and eked out 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 for O'Gorman. The Knights, unlike the Patriots, are huddling. Hunter Sayesavon, the new quarterback, 5'11 junior, stocky, from the gun. He's got a back to each side of him, and he'll roll to the right, and he is wrangled in the backfield immediately. Nowhere to go, as that quarterback keep was sniffed out immediately by Luke Kremkes, a returning senior defensive end, and that's a loss of 4 yards.
He needs to realize that play is designed to not have him run. He's used as a decoy. You want the DN coming at him, which the DN did, except for he tucked the ball right away. They want to pitch that, and it was drawn up very well. They had Schlemgen out leading for Teasy to get out on the edge where he is most comfortable.
3rd and 8 Knights off the fumble recovery at their own 22. Scoreless game. 2:40 and ticking. First quarter. Seyesevan takes a snap. Pressure in the backfield. Goes to his left, keeping it for as long as he can, and makes his way for a first down to the 35. That's a big 195-pound body to take down. The Patriots couldn't do it until he had moved past the stick, and the Knights get to keep the ball.
Yeah, and a great decision. I mean, the pocket created the run for him. He just felt the pocket collapsing, slid out of there, and then just took off and ran and was able to get the first down.
Knights 1st and 10, their own 35. Left to right, far side hash. Schlemgen in motion, left to right, takes the pitch, trying to get around the edge. He's got to beat out the quarterback. He does. Angles right, and finally chased out at about the 41. That's a 6-yard gain. He beat Cole Knutson, the quarterback, and then the Patriots had to send a crew to force him out.
You can see how Hamrick and Schlemgen, when they get outside in the edge against those corners, tough matchup for Lincoln to bring those two down.
Marked out at the 42, so a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3, O'Gorman driving. Beautiful, warm Friday night into the sun here at their home field, McEnany Field. 2nd and 3 from their own 42. Backs to each side, and it's a throw to the left side. It's caught, and it's again Mebius. Similar play to the first play of this drive. He catches it and inches forward for a first down. On the far numbers, the 46, a 4-yard gain, and the Knights move the sticks again. So it's been an interesting game. Lincoln 3 and out to start the game in the punt. O'Gorman went 50 yards, 4 first downs, threw an interception to Edison Knoll. Patriots got it. They drove about 40 yards and fumbled when they were just eating up yards. So now the Knights with a fresh set of downs, and their head coach Jason Poppinga jogs onto the field with 1:08 left in the first quarter. And he has called a timeout. They couldn't get the playoff in time. We'll take a break as well. Scoreless, Lincoln at O'Gorman. First quarter on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Has more than 40 years of experience providing great hospitality and focusing on providing seniors the full life. We have restaurant-style dining. We have a health and fitness club, wonderful life enrichment activities. We have wonderful team members who are here to be your support systems and your friends. Health services care team members who will help you in any level of care, assisted living, and then 2 levels of memory care and early memory care support. All of those things are at your fingertips when you're here at All Saints.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FD.
Out of the timeout, the Knights throw a first down pass from their own 46-yard line. Seyesevan threw it to the right side. Logan Mebius with his 3rd catch, his 3rd first down. This time he slanted his way to the middle of the field from the right side and made it to Lincoln's 44-yard line, a 10-yard pickup and first down.
Well, and it seemed like a good throw and catch, and it got yards, it got a first down, but Coach Poppinga was furious because they had their slot receiver down the hash for a touchdown wide open, and it was just missed.
So on first down from the Lincoln 44, a handoff left side, and Hamrick able to make some room. He does that very well at 205 pounds and 6'3". Some extra stretch, 5 yards to the 39. So that's 2 plays in a row that Jason Poppinga was furious because the Knights had to call a timeout. They weren't ready to snap a play, and they missed apparently an easy touchdown. But it's a scoreless game. 10 seconds remaining, first quarter. They have a 2nd and 5 of the Lincoln 39, a handoff, Hamrick left side, and this time Lincoln defenders are there a little quicker to wrap him up at about the 37 for a 2-yard gain. And we move to the second quarter with another 1-minute timeout. Lincoln and O'Gorman scoreless from the MAC. Our Avera Game of the Week on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Metrosports.tv.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Your time is valuable.
You shouldn't have to wait for the weather forecast.
That's why the First Alert Weather Team is giving you weather every 5 minutes in every newscast.
Every 5 minutes in the morning?
Every 5 minutes in the evening.
And every 5 minutes on the weekends, too.
Focusing on the weather that affects you.
You'll always get the First Alert so you can plan ahead.
First Alert weather every 5 minutes. Only on Dakota News Now.
South Dakota State Jackrabbit took it himself. He got nowhere. The Lincoln Patriots were ready at the line, and it's a gain of nothing. So it brings up 4th and 4 for the Knights, who started this possession after Lincoln fumbled.
And they're staying with the same package here with Schlimgen.
Schlimgen at 6'2", 220 pounds. He's got a back to each side of him and one wide out each side. Patriots with 4 down linemen, 4th and 4. Schlimgen looked right now. He's running left, and he's got some open field. First down, 35-30 near sideline, and he is tripped up at the 22. Just a simple decision to keep it 16 yards, and the Knights now near the red zone.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it looked like it was a pass play, and then it wasn't there, and he just took off and ran. And you can see when he gets out in the open field, it's just such a tough matchup for those Lincoln DBs.
Jason Popman got 3 plays in a row, sticking with Schlimgen, who's been a running back so far tonight. He has got wings to each side. One of them goes in motion left to tight end right. First down from the Lincoln 21. Schlimgen keeping it right side. Chase from behind. Beats that defender to the 15, to the 10. Nearing the goal line, 5, and it's a touchdown! Just a diagonal run, and Schlimgen could not be taken down. A 21-yard score, and the Knights draw first blood against Lincoln.
He looks so gassed, but he just plays so hard. And great job by Coach Poppinga finding ways to get his best players the football. You can see and feel the change from last week of how they're getting their personnel the ball. That's a good matchup for them.
Lawrence Hillman in to attempt the extra point. Did not get an opportunity to do so last week in a 14-0 loss to Harrisburg. Last year, he was 41 of 49. He has about a 10-mile breeze behind him, and his holder is Sullivan Schlimgen. And a snap coming in. Oh, a little low. Hold, though, is recovered, and the kick is drilled through. 11 seconds into the second quarter. It's 7-0. O'Gorman leading Lincoln, and the Knights have their first points on the board in 2024. It took them 5 quarters and change, but they certainly have seemed to find something now that they have Sullivan Schlimgen taking the snaps. The interesting thing is, Curtis, with Talon Black last week, not playing this week, Hunter say yes, Avon, getting the start to mixed results in that first quarter. He moved the team down the field but threw a pick on the first drive. And then right when the second quarter starts, Poppinga goes to Schlimgen 3 plays in a row, and they score. So do you suppose that continues?
I don't think you can, just because of how much Schlimgen has to do everything else, too. I think you got to have another quarterback in there. And I think it's not really what the other quarterback hasn't done. It's the plays he's missed is what has got Coach Poppinga frustrated. They had a touchdown pass that they missed. and then it looked like he missed another read that Coach Poppinga got pretty fired up about. Brought in the veteran that he knows he can rely on, not going to make those rookie mistakes, especially getting down in the red zone.
So the Knights up 7-0 on number 2 Lincoln, and Lawrence Hillman kicking it off right to left with that breeze behind him. End over end on a sunny night, and it's taken at the 10-yard line by Edison Knoll up the middle of the field, 15, 20, 25. Oh, he cannot get out of a foot tackle at the 27, so a return of about 17 yards. Lincoln's offense takes the field for the third time tonight. The first time, a 3-and-out and a punt. The second time, they took an interception, moved it about 40 yards, but fumbled. They were trying to do the no-huddle thing, and they did it well until they made just one mistake in it. So it'll be interesting to see the pace Brody Schaefer, the sophomore, leads this crew at on drive number 3. It's a crew that scored 55 points in a 55-7 win at Rapid City Central, at Stevens, I should say, last week. Schaefer, the sophomore, from the gun. And he hands it off Josh Myers. The tailback squirms his way up the middle, cuts left, but then is pinned to the 29, a gain of maybe a yard.
Great job by the Gorman defense, not allowing Myers to break outside. You could see the burst right there. If he would have got outside, he's going to be gone. Really good job by the linebackers.
Backs to each side of Schaefer. Now one of them emptying out to the left side. Fake handoff, the throw to that back in motion. It's caught on the far sideline, 28, 30, 35, and pushed out of bounds at about the 38. It looked like a yard after the first down stick, but it's marked out just shy of the marker, but that's a nice 7 or 8 yard gain out into the open field. Javen Augustus, a backup running back, of course, from the backfield to the flat, making the play, and it brings up a 3rd and 1 for Lincoln at its own 38. All of a sudden down 7-0 early in the second. Mikey Roach, sophomore receiver, was in motion, stays on the left side of the line, handoff to Myers, nowhere to go, second effort, burst, yes, he got it, 40, and then diving ahead to the 45. He looks stymied by 2 yards, but the Lincoln blockers and Myers stay with it, a first down gain of about 6.
Well, he just has that unique combination of such quick feet, but also being very powerful. Gets a really good lean to absorb the hit and then take off after that.
Marked down to the 44 of Lincoln. Patriots in their own territory now. Fresh set of downs. Whistles blow, and now Lincoln has to call a timeout on offense with some apparent confusion before the snap. We'll keep it right here. Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2. 9:20 remaining second quarter, and O'Gorman on top of Lincoln, 7-0. Been a very interesting game, to say the least. Some mistakes. It's early in the season. Kids playing hard. What's sticking out?
The thing that sticks out most is the improvement of week 1 to week 2 with the O'Gorman offense. I mean, adapting to the personnel they have and just maximizing those players the best they can. And then also, I think on the other side, Lincoln, it shows they played Rapid City Stevens. Now you're playing a little better defense. You got to be sharper, and we're seeing the sloppiness is being taken advantage of by the Gorman defense. Gorman's linebackers are getting through at will into the backfield, so that's something Lincoln's going to have to shore up with their run game.
Patriots 1st and 10 off the timeout at their own 39. 9:20 remaining second quarter, down 7-0. Sophomore Schaefer, the quarterback from the gun, looked left, but then takes it up the middle himself. He's got room. Angling right 50 to the 40. He's got a lot of room. Nobody to get him down the near sideline. It's a touchdown. 56 yards. No flags. And the Patriots a point away from tying it within a minute of O'Gorman's score. Wow, Brody Schaefer off to the races. 78 yards rushing on 4 carries last week. Those are the kinds of things Lincoln was doing in Rapid City 7 days ago.
Yeah, and when you can't block the linebackers, well, let's get another blocker. That's the running back. And now let's have an extra runner, and that's the quarterback. They got him one-on-one with Hunter Cox, the safety, and Hunter Cox did not even touch Brody Schaefer. He's got to make that tackle for Coach Poppinga, but great run by the young rookie quarterback.
Ooh, the extra point attempt had some drama hanging in there. Edison Knoll curls it around the left upright, and with 9:09 remaining in the first half, it's a tie game again. Lincoln and O'Gorman in Sioux Falls on Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, and Outlaw Channel 13.2.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Tied at 7 after the Brody Schaefer 56-yard touchdown run, the quarterback keeper. Lincoln kicking off to O'Gorman on a sun splashed Friday night into a breeze. Left to right, Edison Knowles, right-footed boot, a little bit of a line drive. Bouncing right through the hands of the returner, Jace Teese, at the 2-yard line, out of bounds and going for a touchback. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. First quarter ended scoreless, but Sullivan Schlimgen, a 21-yard touchdown run as a quarterback to cap a 65-yard drive for the Knights to take a 7-0 lead. It took Lincoln just a minute 40 to go 73 yards and Schaefer's touchdown to tie things up. Patriots, defending state champs, lost a lot from their offensive side, ranked number 2 to start the season. And the Knights ranked number 4, coming off a 14-0 loss to top-ranked Harrisburg last week. Knights starting at their own 25. Say yes, Vaughn, back at quarterback. Looking left, being flushed, trying to get out of the grasp of a defender and can't. He is sacked back at about the 18-yard line, the Lincoln front seven. I mean, he ran out of time.
That was Schlimgen.
It was?
And it was going to be a quarterback draw. He was going to pump, fake, and run. But Kremke's, the player going to STSU for Lincoln on the defensive line, finally we see him a part of the game here. That's really the first time he stood out today so far.
Knights break the huddle, and there's Schlimgen back at quarterback again. Jace Teese, the speedy wideout, lining up wide left, wide right, 2 wide left. 2nd and 11 for O'Gorman. Schlimgen keeps it up the middle, dragging a defender with him, but into another defender's arms at about the 27. He's able to get about 8 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short for the Knights.
And again, it looked like it was a quarterback draw, and Schlimgen, you can see he's just able to carry defenders for about the last 4 yards there of the run.
So strong. Future South Dakota State Jackrabbit linebacker, still in a quarterback, backs to each side. He has 3rd and 3 from his own 27 right to left, and he's going to keep it again. Looking for room. Oh, the walls cave in, but he makes one last move off to the left and gets the first down across the 30 to the 31. He just is not going to be taken down right away. Now, he is marked just shy of the 30, but that is just enough for the first down.
The thing you notice, though, John, is he is absorbing some really hard hits. Those linebackers and DBs are coming downhill full speed and just flying into him. That's going to take its toll in 4 quarters.
Tied at 7. 7.5 minutes remaining first half. High snap for Schlimgen. First down at his own 30-yard line, and he's trying to make his way behind the line on the right side, but a bunch of Patriots are able to get to him at about the 29. It's close to a sack, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long. Beautiful night. Go ahead.
Well, it looks like Schlimgen's got equipment or an injury or blood or something has to come out there. But again, you saw the hard hits he was having to take there, and he's got to go back and lead their defense too. That's going to take its toll.
Hunter Sayesavon, the 5'11", 195-pound junior, back in at quarterback. 2nd and 10 Knights from their own 30. Far hash, they're moving right to left. 4 down linemen make that 3 for Lincoln. Shotgun Sayesavon, surveying. Flushed to his right. Now dances left. Throws left. Passes caught. Middle of the field at the 32. Diving to the 35, maybe the 36. Some positive yardage, but there's a flag.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a hold here.
Jack Stockland made the catch. Good open field tackling by the Patriots. The flag is back at the O'Gorman 29, and after the snap, usually safe to say holding. And we're just going to make sure we have the yardage correct before we get the call.
Holding, number 55, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
First flag of the game, I believe. It's pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
You forget, in games like this, you forget they throw flags. So, first flag for either team, it's very costly for O'Gorman. Now they operate from their own 20. They'll have 2nd and 20. And Sullivan Schlimgen still not on the field. So, Sayesavan at quarterback. Schlimgen, their top offensive weapon, unavailable. 3 wide left, 1 to the short side, far side, right. Sayesavan sends that guy in motion right to left. Now 4 on the left side. That's where he throws. It's caught. Open space, but not a lot of room to run for Dawson Bauer. He is hit almost immediately after the catch. He may have made it to the 22 for a gain of 2. 3rd and 18. Jared Fredenberg's defense, for the most part, playing well tonight.
Well, I think they've been caught off guard by O'Gorman's doing a very good job up front, and they've done a great job on the really active defensive front 3 for Lincoln.
3rd and 18 for O'Gorman. They need to get to the 40. They're at the 22, and it's a trio of receivers just off to the right side of the line. Sayesavan play action, looks and throws left, and it is incomplete. Even if it were caught at the 28-yard line by the tight end, Jace Moeller, he would be about 12 yards shy of the first down. He had fell down, and so that means the Knights have to punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah, if he could have gave him a good ball, he would have had a chance to run for some yards. It was a well-designed play. He's throwing with all the weight on his back foot, kind of fading backwards. He needs to get going forward towards his target.
Tied at 7, 5:27 remaining, second quarter, and the Knights now back to punt, standing at their own 5-yard line. And 2 returners for Lincoln at the 43 of Lincoln. But this punt is short, even wind behind it. Lands at the 48, takes a Curtis Riggs lob wedge, bounce back to the 50. And so the Patriots will start at midfield. Opening drive, 3 and out. Second drive, moved well, fumbled. Third drive, just a few plays and a 56-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Brody Schaefer.
Well, the other thing we're seeing, John, is O'Gorman's offense, they play for first downs. And when they get that penalty, that's catastrophic. You get them, they were 3rd and 20 there. There's not a lot of plays in their playbook right now to make that up.
Yeah, the hold killed the drive. So Schaefer back in at quarterback. 3 wide right for Lincoln, 1 wide left. First down for at the midfield, over the middle. Catch is made by the big wideout, Luisan Akasi, but the Knight defense sniffs him out easily. Sullivan Schlimgen is back in the game. A 1-yard gain, and the Patriots get right back to the line. 2nd and 9 from that blue shield at midfield. They're in O'Gorman territory. 3 wide left, 1 right. Back to the left side of Schaefer. He throws left. It's caught. Oh, we're going to have a downfield pass wide open there at the 20-yard line. It's caught to the 10, to the goal line. It's a touchdown. Lincoln with a flea flicker to Javen Augustus. And the Patriots take the lead for the first time tonight. A 49-yard play out of the hat, Curtis.
That was an awesome design. I mean, they run the typical, the quick screen, and it wasn't one of the blockers releasing. It was the tailback. Tailback takes off down the seam. Well, that's the free safety that's got to come make the tackle. Oh, I also have to cover that guy going down the middle of the field. Really puts a lot of press and stress on that defense. A well-designed play by Struck.
Oh, but the extra point snap is botched, and now Edison Knoll running around in the backfield, tossing it up toward the goal line. Caught in the end zone for 2 points. Beautiful backyard play. Joseph Plord, the tight end, catches it. Edison Knoll showing some quarterbacking skills, and Lincoln takes a 15-7 lead with 4:44 remaining in the first half, and that has silenced the home grandstand here at O'Gorman.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out. I would think Coach Poppinga will say, we're going to come out and run the ball right away, get back to what we were doing that first drive. to kind of subside this momentum that Lincoln has gained quickly on 2 plays.
So that touchdown pass was Brody Schaefer on what appeared to be a little bubble screen out to the left side near the far sideline to Mikey Roach. Dynamic sophomore receiver, their top returning guy from a state championship team, with the services of Isaac Jarofsky and Jack Smith, 11 AAA's all-time leading receiver, no longer there. You'd expect Roach to be a big part of this offense, but 1 catch for -4 yards last week, and he'd been quiet until that, and he throws a 50-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought the same thing, that he would be the go-to guy, but boy, Struck and Schaefer really spreading the wealth around offensively, and that's a great offense when a defense can't really zero in on one particular guy.
Patriots, Edison Knoll, who just threw the 2-point conversion, kicking off left to right into a breeze. Jace Teese catches it at the 2, bobbled it, but kept it. And he angles right, 10, 15, 20, far sideline, 25, 30, room 35, and finally runs out of real estate at about the 40. A 39-yard return by the speedy Chase Teese, who had 3 runs of 60 or more off kickoffs last year. So the Knights good field position. 4:37 remaining first half, now trailing Lincoln 15-7. As the Patriots have scored on back-to-back drives, a 56-yard Brody Schaefer run, and then a Schaefer to Roach to Augustus Flea flicker for 49 yards. So the Knights were marked out at the 38. That's where this drive starts. Hunter Say Yesavan back in at quarterback. Sullivan Schlimgen not out there. Far side hash, handoff, and haven't heard from Gavin Hamrick, the running back, much, and he is stymied right away as he tried to go off to the right side.
Well, and the difference was Lincoln made him dance. They made him have to shuffle and bounce around rather than being able to go straight downhill like he was that first drive of the game.
Karsten Benson, middle linebacker, making the tackle with no gain. 2nd and 10 Knights from their own 38. Right to left from the far side hash. 3 down linemen for Lincoln, 3 wide outs to the left side of the field for O'Gorman, 1 to the short side right. High snap, Yesavan slant over the middle, and it's behind the receiver, incomplete. The receiver was decked right away. After it went through his hands, Logan Mebius was the intended wideout. Brings up a 3rd and 10 for O'Gorman.
Yeah, and Mebius took a shot from Griffin Keller there waiting for him. I'm sure Mebius is telling quarterback, let me maybe clear that window and hit me behind that guy.
So a big 3rd and 10. The Lincoln fans on the far side, you probably can't hear them very well, but they're ratcheting up the noise. Big momentum boost for Lincoln, up by 8. 4 minutes left first half. This would be a big stop. Patriots showing blitz. Yesavan throws over the middle. It's way too strong. He was looking for Sullivan Schlimgen down the left seam. He had 3 defenders near him. The ball sails 10 yards beyond him, and O'Gorman has to punt.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're teaching that run with the ball carrier throw approach. It's putting them in such a bad position to make that throw. And Coach Poppinga has 2 receivers on 1 defender. It's just he didn't throw to either one of them because of his technique there. So these are the things that Coach Poppinga is going to have to work with, because this is the first time he's really had him as a quarterback.
Knights punting from their own 22 is where the punter was. It's a short punt, taken on the far side and racing for as many yards as he can. Javen Augustus, who just caught that flea flicker touchdown pass, gets a return of about 14 yards from the 34 to the 48. And so Lincoln gets primo field position again. They started the last drive on their own 49. And here they are. He was actually marked out at the 40. Still pretty good. And this offense with a couple big plays on their last 2 drives. 56-yard run by the quarterback. 49-yard pass from the wide receiver to the running back. 15-7 the lead. 3:43 remaining first half. Schaefer from his own 40 from the gun. Oh, an immediate rush up the middle. He rolls right, looking, dumps it. Diving catch is made at midfield on the numbers by Mikey Roach for a first down. He caught it, fell down, and the Patriots just steam right back to the line. Now in OG territory. They'll snap it quick. 2 wide left, 1 to the near side right. Myers, the tailback, right next to Schaefer. And Schaefer slings it left, caught by Akasi. Far numbers 49, tries to maneuver his way into a pile at the 45, a gain of about 4, and the clock still runs.
You see a lot of Brody. You see a lot of the same similarities as his brother. The mannerisms, the way he throws, his footwork, a lot of those same components.
Handoff to Josh Myers on 2nd and 5, and he made his way left. The Knights stuck with him and bring him down at about the 43 for a gain of 1. Well, the calmness and the poise, those are 2 words Jared Fredenberg has used to describe the similarities between Brody and Tate. 3rd and 4, Lincoln from the OG 43, play action, Schaefer, deep ball left side, open receiver, tipped and missed. The defender caught up with him at the end of that. It was Mikey Roach, very speedy. Jace Teese, also one of the faster football players in South Dakota, and Teese wins that battle on a jump ball.
Well, and Roach had him beat. Schaefer just throws it behind. He kind of throws sidearm on it and doesn't push off to just lead it out there because Roach ran a great route, but a good recovery by Teese.
4th and 4, Patriots at the O'Gorman 43, and flags fly. Patriots have been going no huddle most of the game. 2:35 remaining first half. Up 15-7, and they're going to get a first down via the offsides penalty.
You know, people get so frustrated by that, John, but all game so far, they go hurry up offense, hurry, and they go the same cadence all the time. And then when you finally get that one play, they change it on you. You just react to it. And in high school, if you go offsides, it's dead right away.
Now we have more whistles just before this snap, and the Knights call a timeout. Shannon Poppinga, the defensive coordinator, who looks, we were talking about this before the game, from here looks exactly like his brother Jason. From here. You don't think so?
Yeah,
but
Shannon's way better looking than Jason.
Okay, was that Shannon that called?
Jason, though, is way smarter than Shannon, though. I mean, he's got way more brain cells up there. Both are unbelievable coaches. Yeah. Here's the thing, John, about them. When they use timeouts to coach.
Yes.
They coach the kids. That is what they are so good at. The strategy stuff comes into play, too, but it is to coach and develop the kids.
Okay, so who emerged? Is that Shannon?
That's Shannon. Jason's over on the sideline.
Okay. Well, there we go. I mean, they're very similar build,
yep.
And they're wearing the exact same thing. Anyway, and Shannon, they're both very, very animated. I mean, they demand a lot out of their players.
They do.
So O'Gorman out of timeouts, 2:34 remaining first half, a 15-7 Lincoln lead, and Patriot ball at the OG 38, 1st and 10, and another flag flies. Man, we had no flags for the first quarter and a half. We've had 2 in the last 2 plays. And after an offsides on O'Gorman and then a timeout to prevent some commotion by the Knights, the Patriots with a false start. So now they have 1st and 15 at the OG 43. Far hash, left to right, 2 wide right, 1 to the short side left. Myers, the tailback, next to Schaefer. Schaefer throws left over the defense. It's caught in the flat, and then just a twist down to the 36-yard line. Akasi with his second catch of the night. Defenders were there quickly to wrap him up. A 6-yard gain, 2nd and 9. No huddle, throw to the right side. It is caught, but what a tackle in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Lincoln's Sam DeGroot, one of their wideouts. A great open field tackle was made by the Knights. Jack Stukel, a gain of about 3. It brings up 3rd and about 7 for Lincoln. We'll call it 3rd and 6 from the O'Gorman 34. We now have under 2 minutes to go first half. And Josh Myers, their running back, is just behind and to the right side of Brody Schaefer, the quarterback. Schaefer looking left the whole time. Throws it left. In traffic, it's batted down at the 25. A little high for Akasi. Good coverage over there by the Knights by Hunter Cox and Sullivan Schlimgen. And it'll bring up a big 4th and 6 for Lincoln with 1:43 left in the half.
Yeah, and probably a ball that should have been caught. You can see, though, when Schaefer feels rush, he'll drop down 3/4 sidearm. He needs to try to – that's one of the things you want to see him improve on. And one thing I'll say, though, for a Fredenberg team, the guy that loves NDSU football, that power game, they really are happy spreading the ball around and gotten away from Josh Myers.
4th and 6, Patriots. The Knights showing stunting linebackers. Patriots are in the backfield. Schaefer scrambles, throws it up for grabs. It's caught at the 5-yard line and into the end zone for a touchdown. In all kinds of traffic, Schaefer stayed cool and connected. And go ahead.
And he got him down at the 1-yard line, it looked, though.
Okay.
But, boy, Tate Schaefer right there. I mean, everyone's sitting here going, is that this Brody kid or is that Tate Schaefer? Because that looked exactly like him right there, creating like that.
Was that Myers that caught the pass?
No.
Hard to see. It might have been Augustus.
I think it was 81.
Again. 81, that's Lewis Sinakasi with his second catch on this drive. It was a 42-yard gain to the 1-yard line. 1:05 remaining first half. Patriots up 8. First and goal from the 1. Schaefer instructs Josh Myers, the running back. Gorilla set. Schaefer wants to keep it. He's looking for the push from Myers. The ball came loose at the end of the play after the whistle, but the Patriots did not get in going for the tush push.
Yeah, that was a terrible tush push. I think maybe they thought because the Eagles are playing tonight, we got to try this. I don't know why they're so afraid to give Josh Myers the ball all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, he
is
a really good
week.
player,
yeah.
but I can see why Coach Struck made the decision on Brody Schaefer being the starter because that was an unbelievable play, keeping his eyes downfield as he was caught in the pocket amongst all that traffic. Impressive throw and play.
Patriots took their time and wound the play clock down to 1. The game clock to 23 seconds, and so that's when the timeout comes. Up 15-7 here at O'Gorman as the first half winds down and Lincoln looks to go up by 2 possessions into the locker room. Interesting game.
The thing that happened to Tate Schaefer when he started as a sophomore, he tried to make plays like that all the time, and he turned the ball over quite a bit. And his maturity as he went to his junior year and then finally his senior year was he developed and got better and was making better decisions. Thus why they were so dominant last year. You see the same similarities with Brody, but Brody hasn't got caught making mistakes yet. But that playmaking ability as a coach, you hold your breath. Sometimes you're like, oh, God, oh, great play. And then other times you're like, dadgummit, we can't be doing that.
I mean, was there a coverage breakdown by O'Gorman?
Yeah. Anytime the quarterback, he gets caught in the pocket like that, they thought he was sacked.
Well, yeah. So, off the timeout, 23 seconds left in the half. Lincoln's second and goal from the 1 after the big 42-yard pass from Schaefer. Myers is right behind Schaefer. Double tight ends, each side. And the direct snap to Myers off the left side, scrambling for the goal line. He didn't get in. So there's 1 timeout left for Lincoln. Clock down to 14 seconds, and it stops there. And the Patriots will have 1, maybe 2 more shots at a touchdown. I mean, if they run it, it's only going to be 1 more chance. And the clock stops. Was that their second timeout of the half? Scoreboard shows 1 timeout left. And I believe that's their final timeout. They had to take a timeout earlier on this drive. But I'm
and they gave him 13 seconds.
It is.
13 seconds, too, though. That now they're probably going to throw unless you feel like you have a run play here. I think Coach Fredenberg, though, is going to say, guys, we're just chest bumping with them. We're not trying to drive and block them. You got to really be aggressive. You got to have a mentality down on the goal line. And we saw this with O'Gorman last week against Harrisburg. They got stuffed on that big goal line stand that really sealed the game after Sam Knuth came out and had a big pass coming out of the end zone.
Halftime show coming up. We'll update the scores.
We get fireworks again this week? No,
I don't think so. Kickoff's an hour and a half earlier, and I don't think that fireworks would work very well in the bright light. But it was quite the show. Took forever to get the lights.
Skydivers.
Yeah. Just a good old-fashioned football game this week. 15-7, Lincoln the lead. 13 seconds remaining first half. Patriots with 3rd and goal, their 3rd shot at the end zone. Out of timeouts. Schaefer now from the gun. And he looks left. He's going to throw into traffic. It's intercepted at the 2-yard line. It's Sullivan Schlimgen, and he drags defenders all the way to the 30. A massive play in this game with 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Everybody's All-American at O'Gorman High School. Sullivan Schlimgen keeps the Patriots off the board.
And just what we talked about, Brody's standing there holding the ball, and he stared at the receiver all the way across the field, and Schlemgen was right there. They tried to run a mesh route, it's called, and Schlemgen just sat there and waited for it, and then easy interception for him.
Wow, the Lincoln Patriots had all the momentum in this game. They had scored back-to-back on huge plays. The Knights have 5 seconds left. Sayasavon, left side pass into the flat. It's caught. Hamrick is stuck to the turf at the 35, a gain of about 5, and that is the end of the first half. But Lincoln had a 56-yard touchdown run by Brody Schaefer. Then a flea flicker. Schaefer to receiver Mikey Roach, to running back Javen Augustus, 49 yards. Those were back-to-back drives in the second quarter to take a 15-7 lead. Schaefer with a massive 41-yard strike under duress to the 1-yard line. And on the third try from the 1, throws an interception to Sullivan Schlemgen, who returned it to the 30 to end the half. Initial thoughts as we go to break.
I mean, O'Gorman finding a way to hang around. We saw this last week, too. Didn't play great, but found a way to hang around. First quarter, came up with some good things schematically. Lincoln adjusted, though. Now what does O'Gorman do? They got to have some big plays. In there somewhere, there's got to be some home runs. Otherwise, Lincoln's just going to really pack it in and say, you can't beat us over the top. We're going to come up and hit Tim Tebow or Schlemgen and make you have to try to throw over the top on us.
The Knights will get the ball first to start the second half. But it is halftime at McEnany Field. Scores from around high school football. Other thoughts on what we've seen so far. Number 2, Lincoln, leading number 4, O'Gorman, 15-7 in our Avera Game of the Week on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, Metrosports.tv, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Touchmark at All Saints, you're going to be surrounded by history.
When you drive up to our community, you are impressed by the beautiful campus all around. This community is a combination of the old and the new. The old on the exterior, but your apartments are impressive. I've never been so pampered in my life.
So it's the combination of both the history and modernization that makes it fun and enjoyable.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
What does First Alert coverage mean to you? It's your first alert to breaking news, because when news happens, you shouldn't have to wait. It's keeping you informed on the issues that matter and updating you with the latest information. It's weather every 5 minutes because we know your time is important. It's covering state and local politics because decisions from City Hall to the State House affect you most. Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Remaining first half at O'Gorman. Lincoln on top of the Knights, 15-7. The Knights drew first blood on a Sullivan Schlimgen 21-yard touchdown run on the first play of the second quarter. The Patriots responded a minute 40 seconds later with a Brody Schaefer 56-yard touchdown run from the quarterback spot to tie it at 7. And then 5 minutes later, Schaefer to Roach to Augustus, a flea flicker, a wide receiver touchdown pass to a running back from 49 yards out. The two-point conversion on the scramble after a bad snap from Edison Knoll to tight end Joseph Plord, and that's how we got to 15-7. Lincoln was at the 1-yard line, knocking on the door after a miraculous Brody Schaefer completion under duress to the 1-yard line, but he then 2 plays later threw an interception to Schlimgen. So it's been a lot of Schaefer and Schlimgen on the big plays in this game. 15-7, Lincoln with the lead. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. The speaker system here, whatever the O'Gorman band is doing, threw some people off. We thought we just heard the voice of some guy telling us there's a fire somewhere and we need to vacate the premises, but it was just part of the act. Got the band and the flag girls out here. A beautiful night, first Friday in September in Sioux Falls, as it should be. So we've got the 15-7 Lincoln lead, and there's plenty more to talk about that before the third quarter gets underway about 10 minutes from now. Other than that, across the scoreboard in 11 AAA football, after both teams won last week, you thought, hey, maybe Jefferson Roosevelt, the public school West Side story, would be a competitive match at Howard Wood Field tonight. You predicted it would not be, and you were correct, Curtis. 34-0. The Cavaliers blanking the Rough Riders with just over a minute left in the first half. You feel right now that Jefferson is the best team in the state.
I do. I think they're the most complete at the beginning of the season. Now, I think Harrisburg's going to be there. I think Lincoln's going to be there. And I think Brandon Valley will be there. But they're all going through some growing pains of people they lost last year, whereas Jefferson had them all back. And they got a really good coaching staff. They have great numbers. And they have some really intense competitive practices.
34-zip Cavs over the Rough Riders at the moment. Now 41-0, so they tacked on a touchdown just at the end of the first half. Otherwise, in Class 11 AAA tonight, Rapid City Central taking on a Spearfish team ranked number 3 in Class 11 AA and having beaten T-Area, a major power in AA ball the last several years, 39-29 last week. Of course, the Cobblers fell shy of a 2-point conversion to tie at Roosevelt in Week 1 last week. That's it for the Friday slate. Tomorrow night, a big one at Harrisburg, the Tiger Bowl at 6 o'clock as Sioux Falls, Washington comes into town. Second consecutive week the Warriors playing in a kickoff classic, which is always a big,
Nate Mauchow, is he doing the scheduling there? I mean, come on. Are they getting paid for these games? Is that what they're doing?
I mean, they should, because not only, obviously, the anticipation is high, it's the crowds are huge. It's also the home opener for both Brandon Valley and Harrisburg, but they're two of the top programs in the state. So, I mean, that's a tough way to start the season. And the Warriors took Brandon Valley to the end last week, losing 20-14.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that Harrisburg's expecting almost 10,000 at that game tomorrow night, bigger than the Dakota Bowl. I mean, they got a beautiful stadium. Coach White's got a really good thing going there. I think that game, though, could end up a lot like this game, where Washington has to go in and muddy it up and play defensive football that keeps them in the game.
Let's get the last few notes of this O'Gorman Marching Band, the halftime show. Folks are watching on Outlaw 13.2, metrosports.tv, dakotasnow.com. All right, there you go. Nice performance. And let's move on to the college ranks. One final note about high school football, everything we've just been talking about. Tomorrow morning, Midco Sports Coaches Show over on Fox Sports 98.1, AM 1230, KWSN.com. We'll talk to 8 coaches from the Sioux Falls metro area. We usually get all 7 of the Metro Conference coaches in every single week, and the replays are always available at KWSN.com/podcasts. Are you in Brookings tomorrow?
I am, yep, tomorrow night.
For the South Dakota State home opener, the Jackrabbits taking on Incarnate Word at 6 o'clock on Midco Sports. And, of course, what were your impressions of a trip to Stillwater, Oklahoma? 44-20 loss. SDSU never really in that one, but Cowboys could be our Big 12 champions this year.
They could. You look at Oklahoma State, Utah, I think there's a few teams in there, but the area you noticed was the size in the trenches. And SDSU lost 3 6-year senior offensive linemen, 2 of them that are on NFL rosters right now. It was a big difference, and State didn't take advantage of the opportunities when they had him. Mark missed some open passes that you see him usually compete. They missed some tackles that they usually make, but that running back for Oklahoma State's not too bad.
Considered a Heisman Trophy candidate.
And he's 245 pounds, and you saw it when he was out in the open field and State had one-on-one situations. He was difficult to bring down.
Yeah, the line on that game was 13, although it climbed from 9.5 to 13 in the last couple days of the week. And Jackrabbits' first loss in 30 games. They had a 29-game streak going. But, the victory, had they been able to pull that off, would have been, at least when it comes to caliber of opponent, the biggest in school history. That may be the hardest team SDSU has ever played.
And that Iowa team they lost to, I know the score was only, I think, 7-3
2 years ago.
But they were really good, and they did it one way. Defense. Yeah, I think their punt return team scored more points that season than their offense. But, man, their defense was good.
They were, and it's not often that South Dakota State loses like this. It's their most lopsided loss in 7 years since a semifinal nightmare at James Madison. But Jackrabbits still the number 1 team in the country in FCS. And they get Incarnate Word tomorrow at 6 p.m. Now, that's a school you go, some people haven't heard of it, but if you've been following FCS football, they made the semifinals and lost to North Dakota State just a couple of years ago. It's a private school in San Antonio, Texas. The basketball team came into Lincoln and beat Tim Miles in Nebraska about 10 years ago. So Husker fans know who Incarnate Word is. So they're serious about their football.
Yeah, it's where Cam Ward, starting quarterback from Miami, was at Washington State. That's where he started. He was at Word and then went to Washington State, now at Miami, and looking to be a first-round draft pick. They spread it around. They put a lot of pressure and stress on you with their offense. They have great skilled guys. Their starting quarterback's a drop down from Texas A&M. So they're going to come out, and they're exciting, but they're going to try to full court press you and make the game go their style. And they had NDSU. They just could not finish that game.
Curtis will be on the call tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Midco Sports for the Jackrabbits. Meanwhile, USD at Wisconsin, 2:30 on FS1, a nationally televised game for the Yotes against a very mediocre Wisconsin outfit. Quick glimpse.
Well, I don't want to say mediocre because Bama's going in there in 2 weeks, and
yes.
we don't want to jinx anything there, but the atmosphere will be the biggest test. You know,
absolutely.
going in there and playing that setting, it's not going to be playing Northern State at the Dakota Dome, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
So I think it gives you that test of, hey, we played a Division II team, now we're going to play a Power 5 team. Let's gauge where we're at.
The good news is this is not a night game. I mean, you give the kids in Madison all day to get ready for that, and the adult kids, the alumni.
There is a game that's going to be a night game. That's a big one in the area.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really? Nebraska, Colorado at 6:30 on NBC. The Huskers, hottest ticket in Lincoln in 10 years. It's hard to get one, and it's hard to get one for less than $500 for the worst seats in the house. Deion Sanders and crew thumped Nebraska last year. Dylan Raiola, though, the five-star quarterback who had committed to Ohio State, then Georgia, and then commits to Nebraska, where his dad, Dominic, was an All-American lineman. Did you get a chance to watch him against UTEP? What do you think about tomorrow?
He looks good. I mean, the key for them, though, is running the ball. And they run the ball like that, they're not going to lose. The defense is going to be really good. The thing you saw with Colorado and NDSU, schematically NDSU was good. Their safety struggled, though, and they struggled to match up with the personnel of Colorado speed-wise. Nebraska is going to be able to do that. At Nebraska, where they have really excelled is their promotional marketing factor to build this up and build this season up, especially when they invested in Raiola. They've done a tremendous job there. You can feel the energy. I mean, everyone is talking about Nebraska football, and now, hey, thank you, Prime, coming in. We're going to use your energy to help us too.
It would be a devastating loss. I mean, there's plenty of things ahead.
You're pushing you're pushing all your chips forward here on this one.
So that's a 6:30 game on NBC. The Cyhawk series tomorrow, Iowa and Iowa State, and the University of Sioux Falls is at Northern State at 6 o'clock. Chad Berger, Tom Frederick, Tim Hyatt. They'll be on the road somewhere around noon to get up into Aberdeen, and you can hear that game right here on Fox Sports 98.1, AM 1230, and KWSN.com. Congrats to Augie. The Vikings 1-0 after beating Mary 35-13 in Bismarck last night. Here at O'Gorman, it's number 2 Lincoln leading number 4 O'Gorman. 15-7, a few minutes away from the second half. We'll come back to the MAC on Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference. where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Your time is valuable.
You shouldn't have to wait for the weather forecast.
That's why the First Alert weather team is giving you weather every 5 minutes in every newscast.
Every 5 minutes in the morning, every 5 minutes in the evening,
And every 5 minutes on the weekends, too.
focusing on the weather that affects you.
You'll always get the First Alert so you can plan ahead.
First Alert weather every 5 minutes. Only on Dakota News Now. Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
High school football on a Friday night in Sioux Falls. It's our Avera game of the week. Number 2 ranked Lincoln, leading number 4 O'Gorman 15-7 at McEnany Field on the campus of O'Gorman High School. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs on the simulcast. Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com. New this year on your television set, Outlaw Channel 13.2. Patriots dominated the second quarter, answering a Sullivan Schlimgen 21-yard run that gave O'Gorman a 7-zip lead. But then Brody Schaefer, the quarterback, scampered for 56 yards. And 5 minutes later, he hit Mikey Roach, the wide receiver, who hit Javen Augustus, the running back, wide open flea flicker from 49. 15-7 was the Lincoln lead. And then they had a 42-yard pass all the way to the 1-yard line right before halftime. But on 3rd and goal from the 1, Schaefer threw a pick to Schlimgen, who ran it out, and O'Gorman ran out the first half. And now the Knights get the ball to start the second half, Curtis. So what kind of adjustments are you looking for them to make on offense?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I think they're effective with the Tebow Schlimgen package, but how much can he do? They got to get back to running it downhill, but it seemed like Lincoln made some adjustments to that. They've got to get a home run play, though, here at some point. Lincoln has moved the ball with ease, it seems like, but they've just had the 2 big turnovers. I mean, I can't believe – how big was that tackle? We thought it was a touchdown.
Yes.
You know, we thought it was a touchdown. They mark it at the 1, and look what happens. But Coach Fredenberg's got to be like, really, we're on the 1 yard, fellas, and we can't get this in? So I think they're going to come out and really keep doing what they were doing. They were really moving the ball around. Just they got to take care of it, though.
Patriots,
get Josh Myers involved, too.
Yeah, Patriots with a 55-7 win at Rapid City Stevens to open the season last week. And 378 of their 420 yards were on the ground. And Josh Myers, the tailback, had 201 yards on just 9 carries. So a little more resistance coming from the Knight defense as expected, a lot more. But OG's offense gets the ball to start the second half. Temperatures now in the 70s, just a glorious Friday evening. We're in the shadows now here at McEnany Field. The sun yet to set. Some shadows from the giant video board from the end zone to our right out to the west. But the Knights will be going into the sun, and Lincoln will be kicking with a very light breeze behind it. The winds have died down since the start of the game. It's about a full house here at McEnany Field, 5,000, maybe 6,000. Lincoln, full grandstand on the opposite side. These two schools just separated by a few miles down 41st Street in Sioux Falls, heart of the city. Edison Knoll will kick it off for Lincoln right to left. Two returners, Jace Teese, one of them, dangerous, back at the 6-yard line for O'Gorman, end over end. Teese a couple yards back to field it at the 4, angling right 10. Here come the defenders to get him down at that 10-yard line. What a coverage performance by Lincoln's Dylan Calzo. It's a short return of 6 yards, and O'Gorman starts at its own 10.
Yeah, Lincoln, they know. Tease wants to get to that sideline. He's going to try to outrun you there, and when he can't get there, it's not going to be pretty as what happened right there. And Lincoln, you could see the sense of urgency, how hard they were coming down on that kickoff.
Hunter Sayasavan is the O'Gorman starting quarterback tonight. Talon Black, who played almost the entire game last week in week 1, not even on the sideline tonight, reason not given. So Sayasavan with backs to each side of him, first down at his own 10 to start the second half. Play action, sling over the middle. It's caught over the middle. Mebius has it, and more across the 30. He fumbled ahead to the 35, and the Patriots have it. One play, one turnover. Coming up with it for Lincoln is Jameer Bird, the quarterback, and just as we had so much life at McEnany Field, the Patriots silence everything.
Well, and great play. They come out with a heavy package. Schlimgen and
it's been working.
Hamrick, yeah, both in there. We hadn't seen that for a while. And they go play action, first play, and a nice throw, but a great play by the Lincoln defender. I didn't see who it was who came from behind and stripped that, and then Bird gets the recovery.
Yeah, after a 25-yard completion, so the Patriots now have it at the OG 35, right to left. Schaefer hands it off. Myers left, then right, then left, trying to find some room. Not much, into a pile at about the 31, but a gain of 3 or 4, manageable. Coming out of that pile, guess who? Sullivan Schlimgen, the future Jack.
And here's been the flaw for Struck as an offensive coordinator. Sometimes that 3 yards for him, he's not okay with that. And this is where last year you saw the maturation of him as an offensive coordinator. He started to say, we can do this 3 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, and then we'll let Jack Smith catch a touchdown. So let's see if he does that now coming out this third quarter.
Josh Myers, 6 yards up the middle on second and about 4 yards up the middle. Gets to 3rd and 1. Lincoln at the OG 26. Quick sling left side. Mikey Roach catches it, first down, straddles the boundary and is marked out at the 23, shoved out by Hunter Cox, the safety. And so Lincoln now with the first down. We are a minute into the second half. Lincoln recovering a fumble after a 25-yard pass completion on the first play of the half. And now the Patriots have first down at the OG 22, near hash, right to left. Roach in motion, right to left for Lincoln. Schaefer over the middle, touchdown! At the goal line, slanting in is Akasi. Second touchdown pass for Schaefer, and the Patriots take a 21-7 lead.
Woo.
Boy, they sure made OG pay for that.
I mean, they went run, quick screen, and then a strike off the play action on a skinny post, and Schaefer steps into this one and just throws a dart for a touchdown.
And for Akasi, his first touchdown catch of his career. Edison Knoll in to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, good, kick, booming through the uprights. And actually, for Brody Schaefer, the first touchdown pass of his high school career. He had a touchdown run in the first half. I mean, you give it to Mikey Roach on the other touchdown pass, right?
Yeah.
So it is Schaefer's first career touchdown pass. He only has 40 or 50 more to catch his brother Tate, who for the last 3 years led the Patriots. 2 semifinals and then a state championship last season.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Tate was not making that throw right there as a sophomore.
Wow.
I mean, that was a dart. And so far what I've seen of Brody Schaefer this game, I mean, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the state right now. You got Sam Knuth, who I think is heads and tails above everyone else, but he's adjusting to that new offense that they're running, and I think Brody Schaefer is right there at the top with these other quarterbacks.
22-7 Lincoln with the lead, just a minute 16 into the second half from McEnany Field. And the Patriots have scored the last 22 points in this game after the Knights scored on the very first play of the second quarter. So the Lincoln grandstand's hopping. It is silent here on the O'Gorman side, and Knoll kicking it off right to left. Again, a light breeze behind him, end over end, and this thing lands 2 yards deep in the end zone. Teese lets it go, and the Knights will start from their own 20 once again. And so the very key to the game that we started this broadcast with in the pregame show, Curtis has said it a couple times since halftime, the Knights simply need a big, big play. And they need them in bunches now, down 22-7.
You know, and the hard part, when you don't really have that go-to guy, you start to, how many different schemes can I come up with? Coach Popping is, you know, you got to be running out and go back to the same ones. Well, then Lincoln sees those.
From the 20, Sayesavan, quick pass to the right side. It's caught and sniffed out. Tripped up, maybe a 1-yard gain. Dawson Bauer, wide receiver, the leading wide receiver after O'Gorman lost its top 3 from last year. It just hasn't gotten untracked. He's been well covered by both the Harrisburg and Lincoln defenses, and that went for no gain. Gabe Bruns, outside linebacker for Lincoln, was unable to play the first half, but he's back in there. Tied for the leading returning tackler along with Luke Kremkes, future Jackrabbit, who's an end. 2nd and 10, O'Gorman from their own 20. Sayesavan trying to look over the defense, rolls, left throws, has a receiver open, and a catch by Bauer at the 35, angling left 40, and all the way near midfield. The Patriots chase him down to the 49, a 28-yard gain. They mark it at the 48, but now some space in the play for Dawson Bauer.
Well, and great job by the quarterback getting out of the pocket, creating, keeping his eyes downfield, and this was the key to the play.
So the Knights down 22-7, 9:44 remaining in the third. They have a first down at their own 48. Far side, left to right, wings to each side, and it's a handoff to Schlimgen. Or did he take that snap? It was either he took it or it was a quick handoff. He was in motion as the left wing back. Anyway, he went up the middle for nothing as the Patriots sniffed him out.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to go to him, but the DN shot upfield right away, and he had to cut back inside.
Ruben Dye with that tackle. And Lincoln's front 3 have been stealth as expected. Dye and Kremkes the ends, Kishmar Eberlein the nose guard. So it is 2nd and 10, make that 11 for the Knights from their own 48. Schlimgen the wing to the right side. And Sayesavan pumps, throws, complete over the middle. Falling down to the 44, near a first down. Carter Benson, the tackle for Lincoln, but that completed pass goes to Matt Steffen for about 7 yards.
And one of the things Coach Popping is going to see after watching that play right there with his young quarterback is he just sits there and stares that whole way. It was like Brody Schaefer on that interception. You got to use your eyes to guide those defenders. Give your receiver time.
Hunter Sayesavan taking over after Talon Black played most of last week. Black unavailable tonight. Sayesavan 3rd and 2 from the Lincoln 43. Toss to the left side. Caught. First down and more. Hamrick down the far sideline. Chased down at about the 30. It took outside linebacker Griffin Keller to stop him, but that is a gain of about 15. And O'Gorman in business at the Lincoln 27.
And O'Gorman offensive line doing a great job pass protecting, giving time to the quarterback here.
First down Knights at the Lincoln 27, far hash left to right. Sayesavan hands it off. Hamrick, the tailback, into a pile. Into the waiting arms of Lincoln's Parker Scheidt, the junior linebacker. Maybe a yard, marked down at the 26. Gavin Hamrick was the backup tailback last week. He's a transfer from Brookings, 6'3", 205, had 68 yards on 15 carries, but only has a few totes tonight. And so the Knights set back up, 2nd and 9 at the Lincoln 26. Backs to each side of the quarterback, who takes the belt tie snap, tries to avoid a sack and can't. Kemkes and Dye, the defensive ends, converged for the sack back at the 31, a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, Ruben Dye's really worked his tail off. He's had a great offseason. Krimke's was the one getting all the attention. He's got the size, the speed. Dye doesn't quite have that height, but he was able to get a D2 offer from Jamestown. We'll see if he gets some more, though, coming up with the play from this season.
Inside 7 minutes left, third quarter. 22-7, Lincoln the lead. OG ball, 3rd and 15 from the Lincoln 31. And it's a handoff to Hamrick, left then right, and he just kind of bows his head forward, gets as many yards as he can, as Kremke's had him wrapped up. A 6-yard gain will bring up 4th and about 9.
Yeah, and you're calling that play knowing you're going for it on 4th down.
Yep.
You're saying, let's catch them by surprise. Let's try to get 7 or 8 and put a manageable 4th down situation together here.
Knights lost by 2 touchdowns last week to number 1 Harrisburg. Number 2 Lincoln ahead by 15. Midway through the third, 4th and 9 Knights at the Lincoln 26. Chest high snap, fake handoff, throw to the right. Schlimgen the catch of the 25, but he is taken down. A great tackle in the open field by Edison Knoll, the safety, and the Patriots get the 4th down stop and will take over at the 28.
Yeah, I think Coach Popping is hoping he catches them in zone, because you never like to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage on 4th down. You want to give yourself a chance getting downfield, but he was taking the chance of they're going to go zone, we'll catch him, we'll get Schlimgen out in the flats, and it backfired on him.
So a good drive by OG, but it goes for no points, and the defense will have to bow up as Lincoln starts from its own 23 on the near side hash. Schaefer, the quarterback, just threw his first career touchdown pass. He keeps it left side with a short side where there was a numbers game that Lincoln had won, but the Knights get to him quickly. Sam Kleberg, the linebacker, and that's a gain of about 3 or 4 to the 26. No huddle, right back up to the line on the near side of hash. 2nd and 7, and a sling to the right side, far side, caught at the 30, but a great open field tackle made by O'Gorman at the 31. Very minimal yardage for Mikey Roach, but a gain of about 4 yards brings up 3rd and 1 Lincoln at its own 32. They're ready from the far side hash this time. Schaefer looks back at quarterback, offensive coordinator Eric Streck with the play call. 2 wide out, short side right, 1 to the near side left. Fake handoff. Schaefer throws right, a dive, and an incompletion. The same defensive back who made the big play and the stop on the last play covers Roach for the incompletion, and it brings up 4th and 1.
Just not a fan of that 4th down call either. I mean, that's 2 in a row. I mean, it's 4th and a yard. Get the 1st down, and they try to hit one down the sideline there. They tried to get the tight end into the flats, and O'Gorman covered it. But one great thing about the no huddle for a young quarterback, he doesn't have to think. Everything is just triggered right away.
The Patriots do huddle here on a punt on 4th and 1. And boy, a little rugby-style run-up, and then a boot by Edison Knoll. Sends Jace Teese back, but he catches it. Far side 27. Teese has a motor, but he has no real estate. And he darts out of bounds to about the 38, a return of maybe 8 or 9 yards. But Lawrence Hillman, the defensive back for O'Gorman, made the tackle on 3rd down on Roach, then made the pass breakup, even though it was a helter-skelter play in the first place. But the Knights get the ball back. Here they are, hanging around. The Patriots have scored 22 in a row since early second quarter. It's 22-7 with 4:55 remaining in the third. And again, the Knights just one big play away from getting to within a score or a nice sustained drive. But they have proved so far tonight that's not what's going to get it done against Lincoln. 1st down from their own 33. Far hash, left to right, trips to the right. That's where the quarterback looks, but he's got his jersey tugged in the backfield, and as he throws, he lobs it up. Hammer catches it backfield, 27, angling right, 35. Taken down to the 37. He wanted a face mask. He doesn't get it. O'Gorman will settle for about a 3-yard play that could have been a lot worse.
It really could have, and you know, the quarterback's just got to remember he doesn't need to make earth-shattering plays here. Let's get rid of the ball, get it to his playmakers. Great catch, though, by the Hamrick there. And it looked like they missed a face mask there on Dai.
Yeah, he called for it right away.
Coach Beavers was right there.
Yes. 2nd and 7. O'Gorman from its own 37. Near hash, left to right. Trips now to the left side, open field. Nope, one wide out right. Seyesevan takes the snap. Looking left, now throwing middle. Wide open, the catch is made by Schlimgen at the 40. Angles left 30, far sideline 20. Still on his feet 10. Still on his feet to the end zone. It's a touchdown. 57 yards. And O'Gorman back to within a score if they can get the point after.
Oh, and I think they're going to go for 2. There's just such a difference with some players being good players and some being great. The great ones finish, and that's what you've seen twice with the 2 touchdowns with Schlimgen. The quarterback run he had earlier broke quite a few tackles, got in the end zone. This one, he makes the catch and then breaks a few tackles, gets in the end zone.
Knights down by 9 are going to go for 2. Seyesevan from the gun. One wide out each side. Hamrick to his right. He looks. He dumps it over the middle. In traffic. It's tackled at the 4-yard line. Great play by Lincoln's Karsten Benson to stop this thing 3 yards shy of the goal line. And O'Gorman has to settle for just 6. And they're still down by 2 scores. 22-13, Lincoln the lead. 3:54 remaining in the third. We take a timeout on Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, and Outlaw Channel 13.2.
News now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in primetime. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls, your first alert station.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Kickoff after an O'Gorman touchdown received on the far side of 20 by Lincoln. Up to the 25, 30, 35. Just massive humanity down the numbers to the 39-yard line. The return for Lincoln that time, Edison Knoll. He's a big part of their kicking game. And so, third quarter, 3:48 remaining. Sun setting behind those trees on the west side of Sioux Falls. We're at 41st and Kiwanis, McEnany Field. Lincoln has felt like it's controlled most of the game, but here are the Knights after a 63-yard Seyesevan to Schlimgen touchdown pass, trailing 22-13. Lincoln ball, owned 33 to start this set of downs. And whistles blow just as the ball is being snapped. It's a false start, Lincoln. One of the rare penalties in this game, just 4 between these teams.
False start, number 79 on the offense. Replay, first down.
So the Lincoln offense back on the field after failing to score on the last drive from the gun. Schaefer with 2 wide left, 1 to the short side right. From the 33, clean pocket, throws left, up the elevator. Akasi, the tall receiver, catches it on the near numbers at the 43 and is stuck in man coverage by Dawson Bauer for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, and they can do that about any time they want against that coverage.
2nd and 6, handoff up the middle. Josh Myers, welcome back to the game. Rumbles across the 45, over some bodies to the 46. He's Lincoln's tailback. 201 yards last week, about a 3-yard gain, brings up 3rd and 2. Patriots no huddle now at their own 47. Near hash, right to left, Akasi. On the left side, open field right with some extra protection. Now Mikey Roach split out to the right. Myers is next to Roach, or next to the quarterback Schaefer. 4 down linemen, 1 blitzing for O'Gorman. Schaefer's going to keep it himself, and he is sacked. Nowhere to go back at the 44. Heat-sinking missile on that play was Jack Stuckel to bring up 4th and 4 for Lincoln.
Yeah, and it was so obvious where they were going right there. I mean, you could tell, and O'Gorman did a great job. Now, I don't know why you would go, you got to punt here. You punted when it was 4th and 1, 10 yards closer. I mean, why? I'm not sure why you would go for it here now. I think the one thing we're seeing, though, is when Josh Myers is involved, their offense is fluid. When they start to get away and try to go the up-tempo, quick spread it around, that's when they're more susceptible to mistakes, it seems like.
2:30 and ticking, third quarter.
Oh.
High snap over Knowles' head. The whistles blow. This would have been
the best false start they've ever had right there.
Major play in this game.
Number 32 on the offense.
Yep, you're right. The Patriots will be thanking Gabe Bruns for that later tonight if they win the game. 22-13, Lincoln the lead. 2:13 remaining third quarter. Things are falling apart for the Patriots since a Schaefer to Akasi 22-yard touchdown pass gave them a 22-7 lead early in the third on their first drive. Now the punt and snap clean, and a fair catch is made from Knowles' foot to Dawson Bauer at the 29. It's a short punt. It's about maybe 30 yards, no return. But now you hear that music coming from O'Gorman, that same battle song.
Well, and a much better job this week compared to last. Last week, they couldn't come up and catch a punt. Harrisburg would get the big roll, and it would roll another 30 yards.
Yes.
O'Gorman adjusted and did a nice job. They've caught all the punts. Big difference in field position.
It's the little things that turn into big things. First down Knights at their own 27 between the hashes, left to right, handoff Hamrick up the middle, pushing the pile off the right side across the 30 to about the 32. Few different Patriots wrapped him up. Kemke's may have had him first. And the Knights will have second down and 8. They drew first blood, first play, second quarter, 7-zip. Patriots scored 22 in a row, variety of big plays. A 56-yard quarterback run, a 49-yard flea flicker, and a 22-yard touchdown pass. And the Knights got it back on their last drive. Man in motion right to left, Bauer. Second and 8, handoff right side. Hamrick has room, 35 near sideline 40, first down. Into a tackle out of bounds at the 46. A flag flew, though, in the backfield. It's a holding on O'Gorman, negating the first down.
Yeah, and Ruben Dye, he was right there to make the tackle, and then he just got pulled to the ground, and Hamrick was able to run right by him, though.
Holding, number 51, 10-yard penalty from the spinal foul. Replay, second down.
So a game that saw no penalties in the first quarter and a half, about 6 since, and O'Gorman will be facing second and a mile. They need to get to the 39. They now are marked back at the 23. So a second and 16 as the sun has, it's just about fully set. And now 2 men, Moeller and another, make it 3 receivers to the left side of that O'Gorman line. Second and 16. Seyesevan moves up in the pocket, dumps it beyond the grasp of Dawson Bauer. At the 30 is where the ball fell. It'll be 3rd and 16. A lot of pressure, forcing Seyesevan with another dangerous throw.
And he's not very tall. He gets caught in that pocket. Can't see very well when he has all the linemen in front of him. And you could see he just kind of tried to jump and lob that to Bauer and just missed him there.
So the clock stops on that incompletion. 1:03 remaining third quarter. O'Gorman down 22-13 with the ball. 3rd and 16, its own 22, left to right. 2 wide left, 1 to the near side right. Pressure, both sides. Quarterback rolls up, throws right, catch not quite made. Near the first down stick on the numbers. Great coverage by Edison Knoll. Jace Moeller couldn't take it in, and a 3 and out for O'Gorman.
Yeah, and the tough part for Coach Poppinga, I mean, he wants to throw, but he can't be in predictable throwing situations. Seyesevan can make the throws when it's mixed in with the run.
Roach and Augustus to return this at Lincoln's 40. And a high snap, but The punt is corralled, a line drive that lands at midfield right between the numbers and then just dies at the 45. So no return. Whistles blow. Thought I heard a whistle somewhere around the time the punt was booted, but nothing going on. The new punter, by the way, tonight is Ryland Cody. He's had the punt because Talon Black, who is also O'Gorman's starting quarterback last week, not playing tonight. And so the Patriots take over near midfield. 47 seconds remaining, third quarter, leading 22-13. Kind of holding on to that lead for dear life, it feels like. Even though, again, pound for pound, down for down, they've been the better, stronger team tonight.
It's so much like last week. It's like you wait for Harrisburg or Lincoln to just explode, but O'Gorman just finds a way to keep in it, stay within that striking range, and able to make a play here.
Fresh set of downs for the sophomore quarterback, Brody Schaefer. He has electrified those watching this game tonight in many different ways. Trips to the left now. One of those receivers left in motion, left to right. That's Roach, too wide right. And now Schaefer looks, steps up, throws over the middle, caught. First down catch and a wrap-up made at the O'Gorman 42 on the numbers. But a nice pitch and catch to the Patriots. Everett Starks with his second catch of the game, and the sticks move into O'Gorman territory, and Lincoln darts to the line. 2 wide outs each side. Handoff Myers, left side, looking for room, and he rumbles his way forward across the 40 to the 37, a gain of about 5. Patriots look like they mean business on this drive. The clock is winding. 20 seconds remaining in the third. 2nd and 5 from the O'Gorman 37. Schaefer steps back. Pressure from his left. Rolling right. Looking downfield. Heaving it down the right side. It's caught by Akasi at the 10. He's got a touchdown. If it stands, it depends on a flag that was thrown at the 37-yard line.
I would think in that spot it's got to be a defensive hold, but Schlimgen thinks it's on Lincoln.
And Schlimgen would be correct. The most experienced football player on the field.
No, he wouldn't, John.
Oh, so I thought they said holding on Lincoln.
No.
They pointed Lincoln's way. Okay.
Do you see all the bodies? They're going to the end zone.
I do, but I was watching the official. He was pointing to Lincoln's way. It's a holding on the defense, so it's a touchdown that stands. A very anticlimactic feeling touchdown because of the flag and the mild confusion.
How about because of what happened, you kind of fall oblivious to the throw. The throw by Schaefer.
On the run.
Yeah, he's rolling right. Looks like he's about to get just snot bubbled and drops it right in for his receiver coming all the way across the field.
37-yard touchdown pass, his second to Akasi in this half. And just like that, Lincoln is again up by 2 scores. After Knoll booted the extra point through the uprights, Lincoln leading 29-13 with 9 seconds remaining in the third on the 37-yard touchdown pass from Schaefer to Akasi. And now Brody Schaefer, the sophomore, in his second career game, has touchdown passes of 37 and 22 and a touchdown run of 56. He also threw the first pass on the wide receiver touchdown pass. Mikey Roach, who then found Javen Augustus for 56 yards. Lincoln's first score of the game.
John, who's going to win the Packers-Eagles game on Peacock tonight?
Is it underway yet? Have you taken a peek?
No, I haven't. I have not. I'm trying to get your
I'm just trying
prediction
to
here.
Lock into this game. It's Brazil, so anything goes, right? Who
knows? Are there different rules?
I don't think so, except for, are both teams wearing green? I heard a rumor that because of...
Yeah, it's in their color scheme.
It is, but I heard it because...
How'd the Packer owners agree to that?
I don't know. Lincoln kicking off with 9 seconds remaining in the third, now up 29-13 after that touchdown pass. Knoll doing the honors, very little wind, end over end, and it's caught at the 1-yard line, far side by Bauer. The 5-10 up the numbers, and boy, the Patriots have had great kick return coverage tonight. They take him down on the far side at about the 15. It leaves 3 ticks on the third quarter clock for the O'Gorman offense. What's the line on that game?
Well, someone just sent the score.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell we're on live radio.
3-0 Green Bay, and Green Bay's on the inside the 5-yard line, about to score again.
I mean, that feels like an even game to me. I mean, I'll give the nod to the Eagles have a better roster, and I think Jalen Hurts is a slightly better quarterback.
What about Craig Maddox's Vikings? How are they going to be this year?
Oh, man, we need therapy to talk about that one. Last play of the third quarter, first down, Knights at their own 16. Backfield sling to the left side, the right side. It's caught. Jace Teese trying to get involved in the offense, and he's able to diagonal his way to the 20 before he is wrapped up in the open field. A short gain, and that does it for the third quarter at the MAC. Lincoln on the strength of a couple touchdowns in those 12 minutes, taking a 29-13 lead into the fourth. Into the nightfall in Sioux Falls on our Rivera Game of the Week on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all. Plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no...
Are you fighting like this never-ending cold or what?
I am. And the Patriots just burst up to the line from the O'Gorman 37. Quick sling left side. Akasi catches it. Lots of traffic. Weaves his way through. Ahead and out of bounds just across the 30. They mark it down to the 32, but it is a first down. And the sticks move, and Lincoln gets right back up to the line of scrimmage. 35 seconds into the fourth quarter. Brody Schaefer, the sophomore, has had himself a game. Couple touchdown passes, 56-yard touchdown run. Two wide each side. He's going to keep it up the middle. Has space off the right side, angling right 25. And then corralled to the 22 in the open field by Sam Kleberg.
You know, I know the Lincoln coaches originally thought coming into the summer that Blaze Showers would be their starter and Schaefer would start at receiver. You can see that explosive ability of what he has when he carries the ball. It's just he ended up winning the job through the summer.
Another first down after a 10-yard gain from the 22. A sling to the right side. It's caught. And that's Everett Starks with the catch. The Knights got him pretty quickly. and took them down at about the 21 on the near numbers, and we had a penalty on Lincoln on that play.
It's hard to believe Struck was an offensive lineman in college.
Okay, why is that?
I mean, well, because he's so anti-run the ball. He just, I know he wants to, but you get caught up with so many other things. And the offensive line, I think, is doing a great job. Give those guys a chance to just hammer away at that O'Gorman defense.
As you might be able to see on Outlaw Channel 13.2 and Metrosports.tv and DakotaNewsNow.com, the flag being waved off. So the Patriots got a yard on that quick little pass, and it's 2nd and 9 now for Lincoln from the O'Gorman 23, up 16 early 4th. Scramble left, throw left. Akasi makes the catch far sideline, and the ankle tackle, he just dragged Lawrence Hillman with him for the first down, just past the stick at about the 11-yard line, and the Patriots are moving fast toward the knockout punch. 30 quick yards on this drive, and now they have 1st and goal from about the 10. Throw to the right side, caught, twisting out of a tackle, tight end, and now about 6 different Knights finally converge, and a fumble at the end of that play, and O'Gorman appears to have it. All of that. Lincoln moved it well, but didn't take much time off the clock. O'Gorman gets the ball back at the 7-yard line. Still only down by 2 scores, 29-13.
And, I mean, it's the stubbornness of you're getting guys that don't run with the ball very often out in space that are trying to fight for extra yards when they're not accustomed to doing that.
That was Lucas Hunter, the tight end. First time the ball had gone to him tonight and in the 2 games this season. So O'Gorman still with life in it from its own 7. And Sayesavon, the quarterback, standing in the shotgun back at his 1-yard line, and whistles blew just as that play was starting.
A couple of throws, though, on that drive, John. Schaefer really doing some great things. They ran a smash route where he had Roach open in the end zone for a possible tough throw, but he took the hitch right away, and it was really a great throw rolling to his left for a right-handed quarterback.
False start on O'Gorman to start that drive. So now the Knights are back at their own 3.5-yard line. That's a half a distance penalty, so 2nd and about 3.5. Hit as he throws. The quarterback gets it. A completed pass to Bauer at the 30. Up ahead 40. And finally taken down at midfield by Edison Knoll, the safety. A touchdown saving tackle, but the Knights in the shadow of their own end zone get a major 44-yard strike.
Yeah, and Sayesavon held on to it as long as he could and threw it out there, and then Bauer went up and went to the ball this time. Nice catch to go back and help his quarterback.
Biggest pass play of the night in the young career of Hunter Sayesavon, the backup quarterback for the Knights who got the start tonight. Talon Black made unavailable, reason not given, and now the Knights are at midfield. 9:41 remaining, 4th quarter. Down 29-13. Bauer in motion right to left, catches the pass left at the 50, has some room, 45, and then finally hunted down at about the 39 by Lincoln's Tatum Bell. But that's another first down for the Knights. It's a 13-yard gain to the 37. So Jason popping his offense, moving and grooving now. Sullivan Schlimgen's going to be a weapon they're going to, you'd think, use on a play very soon. He's going to line up slot left on a tight set. First down O'Gorman at the Lincoln 37. Sayesavon has time. Now the pocket caves in. Throws it right, and it's at the feet. Bounces incomplete. Hamrick, the running back, was out on the right flat. Flag at the end of that incompletion.
Yeah, Kremke's got just tackled. And you see Sayesavon, sometimes he gets dancing around with those feet and out of position.
It is a hold on O'Gorman, so their 2nd holding penalty on this drive, which started at their own 7-yard line after a Lincoln fumble on a quick pass as the Patriots were driving to take a 3-score lead. And then after the giant 44-yard strike to Bauer, the Knights get it into Lincoln territory. But now this holding penalty takes the ball back to the 47. They need to get to the 27. It is 2nd and 20 on the near side hash. Down 29-13 9:06 remaining in the third. Wings to each side. One of them on the left. Bauer now breaks to the right side. Before the snap, Sayesavan moves up in the pocket, rolls right, throws over the middle. It's caught by Bauer at the 37. Angles left, tackled by his coverage man, Bell, to the 33. But the Knights get about 14 of those 20 yards. And they'll set up shop now at the 32. 8:40 and ticking. Down by 16. They have all 3 timeouts left. Jason Poppinga taking his time at the moment. Sayesavan taking in the play. Huddle breaks. Lincoln has 3 down linemen. They are good, especially Dye and Kremke's on the ends. 2 wide right, 2 left. Belt high snap. Handoff up the middle. Hamrick has some room across the 30. Angles left. And then is Shoestrung tackled as he bounced his way ahead to the 24, but that's a first down. They had 2nd and 20 and got it all, and now are at the Lincoln 25.
Yeah, and a nice job taking what they give. They hit the few passes to Bauer, and then a good call there on the draw because Lincoln's just dropping back in coverage.
1st and 10 Knights at the Patriot 25. Near hash, right to left, 2 wide each side. Hamrick off to the right side of Sayesavan. Scrambling in the Lincoln linebacking core. Throw left side. Incomplete. Just a little ahead of the leaning forward Matt Steffen. Incomplete. Great coverage. Ill timing. 2nd and 10.
Well, and he had to get rid of the ball, though. Connor Gray was shooting through, blitzing there, and Sayesavan had no time to wait for anything else there.
Stops the clock with 7:46 remaining fourth quarter. O'Gorman took a 7-0 lead. First play, second quarter. The Patriots scored 22 in a row. The Knights answered on a 63-yard touchdown pass to Schlimgin, 22-13. The Patriots just scored. It's 29-13. Knights have 2nd and 10 at the Lincoln 25. Sayesavan play action over the middle. Caught by Chase Moeller. Wrapped up immediately, but ahead to the 13. That's good for a first down on a play of about 12 yards.
Well, you knew it was going there because they had a real tight end. That's one of the few times they had a tight end in a set position and a good option route by him and a nice throw.
So the Knights distributing the ball around on this drive. 3 different receivers. 1st and 10 from the Lincoln 13. Sayesavan in between the hashes. Schlimgin in motion left to right. Helmet high snap, fakes a handoff, scrambling left, and he is wrapped up. Benson, the linebacker, after the initial pursuit, came in from a teammate, Connor Gray. It's a 1-yard loss to the 14. Clock still rolling, 7 minutes left.
Sayesavan's going to run to buy time. That's the style of quarterback he is. And when the pocket collapses, he's going to get trapped in there. Instead of just taking off and running to get positive yards, he wants to spread that ball downfield.
Lincoln ahead 29-13, 6:45 remaining in the fourth. O'Gorman now is 2nd and 11 from the Lincoln 14, right to left. Belt high snap, Sayesavan throws toward the end zone, almost picked off. Halfway back on the near boundary. There really wasn't a Knight in sight. And the Knights live for another down. We have a flag down at near the line of scrimmage.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, that's a backbreaker for Lincoln. The Patriots both the Knights and the Patriots are finding ways to keep the Knights in this game in the second half. And that's an example of the Patriots helping out.
Roughing the passer, number 87. Cuts this to the goal. Automatic first down.
Half the distance and an automatic first down. This thing is at the 7-yard line. We're not keeping official stats. If we did, Lincoln probably has twice as many yards, but now O'Gorman a chance to cut this to 1 score. 1st and goal from the 7, right to left on a crisp called night. Sayesavan maneuvers right, throws toward the goal line. Incomplete, back corner of the end zone, actually. And it was just too strong and not enough time for the intended wideout, Hamrick, the running back, to get there.
Yeah, and again, that running. He just needs to work on carrying the fake and then getting his feet set, ready to throw.
Sayesavan, who's been the quarterback on most plays, checks out of the game. So presumably that means Sullivan Schlimgen, normally playing running back or receiver or wherever they have him, will be the quarterback. He's the senior. One wide out left, two to the far side right, Hamrick to the right of Schlimgen. Second and goal, O'Gorman from the 7. And Schlimgen has Kremke's coming after him, dumps it to the right. It's caught at the 3 toward the goal line. Did he get in? No signals yet. No touchdown yet. The Knights are 1 yard shy on the catch by Jack Stocklin. A great pass under duress by Schlimgen.
I mean, I can't believe he saw him. A great throw by Schlimgen.
But now the ball is in between the 1 yard line and the goal line. O'Gorman down 29-13, 6 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Schlimgen back at quarterback from the gun. Far side hash, right to left. Bunch set. One wide right. Schlimgen taking it off the left side, looking for blocking. He's in there. Touchdown. And O'Gorman staying alive. A 2-point conversion away from cutting this to 1 score. That was a solid drive that they needed, and Jason Popping had dialed Schlimgen back in at quarterback just at the right time.
Well, and a lot of people have to make just average plays for them to be able to get down there. I mean, that was a long, hard-working drive, but someone sent in the comparison of Schlimgen to Tebow, and I think it's spot on. I mean, that's exactly what he is.
Schlimgen in there to attempt the 2-point conversion. He takes it himself out of a tackle, out to the right side, but the Patriots have the numbers and chase him down to the 5-yard line. Boy, the Patriots came in quick on that and made it tough. And the score remains a 2-score game. Lincoln 29, O'Gorman 19 with 5:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break after that 93-yard O'Gorman drive on Fox Sports 98.1, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Metrosports.tv.
First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
The O'Gorman Knights marched 93 yards but failed to pick up a 2-point conversion and trailed 29-19. 5:46 remaining, fourth quarter against the Lincoln Patriots. The kickoff is a line driver right to left, picked up. Did it go out? No, the returner took it out of bounds. That's interesting. So off the bounce, and you could feel Curtis Riggs clench his fists. That could have bounced out of bounds and given Lincoln the ball at the 35.
I'm reacting. Why didn't they onside kick? I mean, there's 5 minutes left. You're down 2 scores. It's going to be tough to play this out and get back in it, but we'll see. Maybe they don't feel like they have a great onside kick team.
Yeah, so that was...
no one does, though. I mean,
true.
your chances are bleak, but you still do it.
So that was a weird kickoff, pretty much a poocher, and now Lincoln lining up oddly, but now into a traditional set by their own 19-yard line to start this drive. Handoff, Josh Myers, tailback, left side. Several different Knights are in the backfield to swarm him down short of the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 or 3 yards. Boy, 201 yards last week, but the Knights have really locked in on number 4 for most of the night.
Well, I mean, Schlimgen especially. I mean, he was 2 yards in the backfield there.
So it's marked as no gain. 2nd and 10 Lincoln from their own 19, left to right, up by 10, fourth quarter. Throw to the right side. It's caught at the 30, 32, 33, and taken out of bounds. A pinpoint dart to the only receiver on this side of the field, and that was Everett Starks. With his third catch of the night, it goes for about 13 yards.
I mean, are you kidding on that throw?
Yeah.
I mean, you were spot on. That was a perfect throw for the comeback.
So, Lincoln fresh set it down to their own 33. Schaefer scampering in the backfield, now bowing his head forward, diving ahead to about the 36, maybe the 37. Lincoln behooved them to take some time off the clock. It rolls inside 5 minutes in the fourth quarter and a 29-19 lead. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'd much rather have Josh Myers taking that big hit, running the ball for 3 yards than having my sophomore quarterback in this situation.
Second and about 6. Throw to the left side. Caught far numbers, 40-yard line. Mikey Roach with some blocking ahead is able to fall his way to the 45-46. That is a first down play for Lincoln of about 10 yards. The Patriots quickly move about 30 yards toward midfield in just 4 plays. Clock now winding at 4:20. Both teams have each of their 3 timeouts. But, of course, now Lincoln taking their time, even though they've spent most of the game running no huddle. Schaefer, the sophomore quarterback, with 3 touchdown passes. And a blitzer coming up for O'Gorman, making it 5 down linemen. It's a tight set, far side from the Patriots' 46, and a handoff, and Myers is crunched by a nose guard for a loss of about a yard. Rip Simmonsma coming up to make that tackle.
Yeah, I think it's tough when you don't run the ball much, quarters 1, 2, and 3. Then in quarter 4, when you have to, it's difficult. It's not a switch you can just turn on.
Patriots with 3:33 remaining in this game. 2nd and 11 from their own 45. Pump fake, a deep ball down the left side. Receiver's open, makes the catch at the 15. Foot race to the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Lincoln. It's Akassi's 3rd touchdown catch from Schaefer of the second half. And the Patriots might have just delivered the knockout punch.
Well, and 2 stars in the making tonight. Akassi being one, and Brody Schaefer. I mean, what a perfect. He missed that throw earlier to Roach. This time it's on the money for a big touchdown and a huge play that may have put things away here.
55-yard pass, the bomb, and then just the dash down the sidelines, a thing of beauty. You're a Raider fan. You have to be beaming at that one. Somewhere Al Davis is as well. And with 3:23 remaining in the fourth quarter, after Edison Knoll makes his point after attempt, Lincoln now leads O'Gorman 36-19 at O'Gorman off a 55-yard touchdown strike. 3rd touchdown pass in 4 Lincoln drives. The one drive where they didn't score, they were moving well, but tight end fumbled after the catch at the 7-yard line. O'Gorman drove it 93 yards to make it a 10-point game, but what an answer for Lincoln, an 82-yard drive.
Well, and I think what we're seeing is the new beginning for Lincoln. Tate Schaefer leaves, Jack Smith leaves, the offensive line leaves, and you have a young team, but a young team with talent. And that talent being Brody Schaefer, I think, coming out party here. You know, I made that statement earlier. He's one of the top quarterbacks right now as a sophomore.
I mean, he has 110 yards passing in touchdown passes, and that's all in this second half. He also had a 42-yarder that
Well, it seems like he's got a million completions, too, because they've thrown so many quick screens.
Yeah. I know you as a quarterback and a quarterback coach and evaluator, you're really enjoying the show he is putting on both the deep balls and the intermediate throws. Absolute bullets. Kickoff, left to right, fielded on the far side of the 5-yard line, and return to the 28, about a 23-yard return right to left for, I believe, Jace Teese. He's usually the guy. Night has fallen. Lights are on at McEnany Field. They've played this song for about the 6th time tonight as they try to get the fans into this, down 36-19. 3:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. It was scoreless after the first. The Knights drew first blood on a Schlimgen run. 15-7 Lincoln at half. 22-13 Patriots after 3. Now it's 36-19. And the Knights start on their own 27 between the hashes. Right to left. Low snap. Yesevan picks it up, throws it left. Caught by Bauer near sideline. Pushed out after the catch at the 38. Single coverage by Knutson. A gain of about 11 or 12. First down, OG.
That was a great throw. That was a good throw by Seisman. It's just the only he's standing there. He just stands there and waits and waits and waits, locked in the entire time. The timing will get better, though, for him. Pocket presence will get better as he gets more reps.
First down, Knights at their own 38. And Seisman throws it over the middle, caught high point at the 50, and then some room to roam until the 43 when the tight end, Jace Moeller, is taken down. That's a nice gain of about 15 yards. Sticks move again, and O'Gorman playing a little hurry up. 2 wide to the short side left, 2 to the far side right. And a fake handoff. No, it is a handoff to Hamrick, the tailback. He's got room, dangling 40, cutting left 35. I'll get it. And down at the 33 after a run of about 10. Might be another first down. And for the first time tonight, we have a player who appeared to be banged up after the play, but he pops right back up. That is Lincoln's Randy Nimley, the safety. And he will go to the sideline, but he appears to be okay. Meanwhile, that was another first down gain, this time of about 11. So the Knights, with 3 quick first downs, have the ball at the Lincoln 33. 2:40 remaining fourth quarter, down 36-19. Seisman, the quarterback with backs to each side, hands it off to Slimkin. He's got room up the middle, weaving his way through traffic, and finally rumbled to the 24, a gain of about 9. Or is that a gain of about, yeah, it's a gain of about 8. I was right. It was 8, 25. 2nd and 2, quick snap. And Seisman is pummeled by Kremke's fumble. It's loose. Lincoln says they have it at the 25, and they do. So the Knights go on a nice drive, but it ends in a fire drill fumble. Luke Kremke's, Curtis. That's why South Dakota State will be happy to have him.
I mean, you see him first when he gets off the bus, and instantly you're like, whoa, long arms, great frame, good size.
6'4", 250.
Yeah, he's got a good motor, and you see how he can wreak havoc in the backfield. And what defense coordinators love is he not only was getting the sack, but he finished it by stripping the ball for a big turnover.
Could not see who recovered it, but now Lincoln takes over with 2:08 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Brody Schaefer, the sophomore quarterback, back in there. I'll estimate at least 200 yards passing tonight. The numbers will be stellar once we get them. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a big run for a first down all the way to the 40-yard line, a run of about 14 yards for the Patriots. That was Javen Augustus, the backup tailback, who has a touchdown catch tonight on a flea flicker that tied the game at 7.
Well, and he didn't look slow either. I mean, he had a nice burst also. Coach Fredenberg's got to be happy. Even his younger players come in and have some excitement.
Yeah, he has some dudes.
There's
a
really a good, the beginning of a great start for Coach Fredenberg here after a championship season.
Yeah, replacing most of the offense from last year's state title team, but only about half the defense. Taking their time, first down their own 41, handoff again. Augustus breaks through tacklers at the 45 and bursts ahead to about the 49, where the Knights were able to catch up with him. It'll be 2nd and short.
I think O'Gorman has subbed quite a few guys on defense now. You kind of see the difference. I know their D-line has changed. Some of their linebackers are out also.
1 minute remaining, fourth quarter. After the 8-yard gain by Augustus, it is 2nd and 2 Lincoln, its own 49, far hash, left to right. Schaefer still in at quarterback. Josh Myers back in at tailback. Wing and 2 wideouts to the short side left, 1 to the right. They are taking this play clock way down. Finally, the bell tie snap. Handoff to Myers. Nice initial stop in the backfield by O'Gorman. Myers fought his way close to a first down. The clock now at 30 seconds remaining in the game, and that may be the last play. We'll see. But for the Lincoln Patriots, a game where it really wasn't until midway through the fourth quarter that we thought, okay, they're all right. But what a way to put the exclamation point and deliver the knockout blow. A 55-yard touchdown pass from Brody Schaefer to Lewison Akasi. Their third connection in the second half. A couple stars born tonight at McEnany Field, and the Patriots do have time for one more snap. The victory formation. Schaefer takes the knee, and the Patriots polish off a 36-19 road win. They move to 2-0 on the season, while the Knights lose their first two at home to the top two ranked teams in the state. Jared Fredenberg, Jason Poppinga shaking hands at midfield. And we'll break this game down, show you a few highlights, tell you who the player of the game was, and give you some scores as we take you on into the night on the Avera Game of the Week. Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Back to school means back to routine for you and your family. Make Dakota News Now part of your routine every morning from 5 to 7.
And I'll have your first alert to whether you need a coat or a jacket or some extra time to get to work.
Your first alert to the news that happened overnight and what to expect for the day ahead.
Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Living with less pain means living at your best. But an action-packed life can wear your body down. Avera Orthopedics keeps you moving with total joint replacements for pain you don't have to live with. Find relief with the region's largest orthopedic physician team of specialized surgeons so you can keep moving forward. Avera, moving health forward. Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
An entertaining win for the Lincoln Patriots at O'Gorman, 36-19 for the second-ranked team in the state. It wasn't necessarily easy, but my goodness, it was impressive. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs on your post-game show on our Avera Health Game of the Week, the Super Simulcast on Fox Sports 98.1 Radio, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, Outlaw Channel 13.2. This thing was scoreless after one. The Knights scored early in the second quarter on a Sullivan Schlimgen run to make it 7-zip. Ty Schaefer's younger brother, Brody, Schaefer swear jar number 1, I made it through the whole game. 56-yard run. He's also Tate Schaefer's younger brother, and Tate just graduated as the best quarterback in 11 AAA history statistically. Brody, the sophomore, with his second start, 56-yard run, tied it at 7 in the second quarter. Bunch more scoring happened after that, but it was 15-7 at the break. Lincoln squandered a chance to go up 22-7 at halftime by throwing an interception, a Schaefer interception, his rare mistake of the night. With about 5 seconds remaining in that first half, Lincoln led 22-13, so just a 9-point lead going into the fourth. But, I mean, the headline of this game was 3 touchdown passes from Schaefer to Lewison Akasi, a wide receiver, a junior, also making his second start. And all that pretty much trumped anything else that happened in this game.
Yeah, I think the run, too, was impressive.
Yeah.
The touchdown run. So 3 touchdown passes, touchdown run. Of course, you're going to say as coaches, well, we got to work on the turnovers. He had a fumble, he had an interception, and then they had another fumble. But looking at him as a player himself, extremely talented.
Yep.
He has a lot of potential. I think that they need to develop a run game that can be a run game when you need the tough yards. You can do it because you're not going to be able to throw those quick screens all over the place all the time. But they came out, they stayed with their game plan, and he continued to make plays all 4 quarters.
It's our Dakota News Now game summary, and that's the headline with the 3 touchdown passes and the 1 touchdown run for Schaefer. But Sullivan Schlimgen played a major part in this game. Again, the 21-yard run to start the scoring. Schaefer answered with a 56-yard run of his own, and then at the 4:44 mark of the second quarter, what a flea flicker. Schaefer to Mikey Roach, the wideout, and then Javen Augustus was wide open down the sideline for a 49-yard pass catch and score to tie it, or to take the 15-7 lead for Lincoln. They botched the snap on the 2-point conversion. Edison Knoll picked it up, tossed it to the tight end, Joseph Plord, for the 15-7 lead. And again, the interception right after an amazing 42-yard under duress touchdown or near touchdown pass from Schaefer just before the end of the half. In the second half, the Patriots made it 22-7 on a Schaefer to Akasi 22-yard pass just about a minute and a half into the third quarter. And then the Knights did respond with a 63-yard touchdown pass. Hunter Sayesavan starting in place of Talon Black tonight. 63 yards to Schlimgen. 2-point conversion was missed, 22-13 at that point. That was the score into the fourth quarter. Quickly, Schaefer hit Akasi again, 37 yards out, 29-13. O'Gorman just kept staying alive, kept responding, kept themselves in it. A 93-yard drive that started after a Lincoln fumble. So the Patriots missed their first opportunity at a knockout punch. And then the Knights made them pay. Schlimgen finished off the 93-yard drive with a 1-yard run to make it 29-19. Schaefer to Akasi from 55 yards out. The final score of the game with about 3 minutes left for the final score of 36-19. And now it's time for our Avera player of the game, and I don't think there's much mystery here. It is Brody Schaefer. 3 touchdown passes, all of them to Akasi, all in the second half, and also that 56-yard touchdown run early in the game.
But he did not have Lincoln's first touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, that was Mikey Roach.
Yeah, great play, too. That was a well-designed play, and everything just went perfect. But then after that point, Brody Schaefer took over and showed that people they've got another Schaefer to deal with for 3 years here now, and he might be the best one of all of them.
He's dynamic. You don't want to jump to conclusions, and I know you wouldn't. I mean, you evaluate quarterbacks for a living, so you wouldn't say something like that. So it's kind of like as a Husker fan when I hear these platitudes for Dylan Raiola after one game. Okay, I guess I should believe it.
I think the thing you look at, though, is the mechanics. You look at the arm motion, the throwing mechanics, the feet. How quick are they? How quick does he get rid of the ball? Can he make the big throws? And I think we got enough of that tonight from Brody Schaefer. He can make all the throws, and he can make the tough ones from bad angles, which get him in trouble, but also make that big play ability. Like that throw he made to where he got him to the 1 yard line. That was an unbelievable play. And then he made that boneheaded sophomore mistake of that 1 yard touchdown throw he wanted, and he threw it right to Sullivan Schlumgen.
Again, we don't have official stats at the moment. I am not the wizard that Tom Frederick is, keeping stats as I go. So all we know is a bunch of passing yards and completions and 3 touchdown passes from Brody Schaefer, and I'm guessing over 100 yards. I mean, it's over 100 yards and touchdown catches for Lewison Akasi tonight. Minimal ground game for Lincoln in this 36-19 win. They had a couple
Josh
turnovers.
Myers' average took a hit.
That's right. And meanwhile, for O'Gorman, assess the nights. Another big night for Schlumgen. He had a 21-yard touchdown run, a 63-yard catch and run for a score as well.
You know, I know for all the fans and even the coaching staff, it's a loss. You know, they're 0-2, which doesn't sit well for O'Gorman fans.
Yeah.
But they were better. You and I both could attest. We did the game, and they were better tonight than they were against Harrisburg. And some of it is Coach Poppinga feeling out what can we and can we not do offensively. And now with Simon as the quarterback, what are we going to be able to do with him? And then what other wrinkles can we continue to do for Sully Schlumgen and continue to get him the ball? Because he's their best finisher. He's the one guy that knows how to get in the end zone.
Again, Talon Black was the starting quarterback last week and was not made available tonight for no reason given to us. And so we're just not quite sure what's going to happen for O'Gorman next week when the Knights go to Brandon Valley. What a start to their slate, man. They get 2 home games, but it's against number 1 Harrisburg, 14-zip, number 2 Lincoln, 36-19, and now they go to third-ranked BV, who just absolutely took it to Rapid City Stevens tonight, 41-7. Other 11 AAA scores. Jefferson nailed down Roosevelt, 41-zip at half, and some mercy in the second half with a running clock, a 41-7 final for Vince Benedetto's Cavaliers. And we have no score yet reported out in the Black Hills because they haven't started. Rapid City Central and Spearfish again tomorrow night. Washington, its second consecutive kickoff classic game. Last week, Brandon, 2014 loss. Tomorrow night, number 1 Harrisburg in the Tiger Bowl at 6 o'clock. But a quick word, since we've gone through the slate. Harrisburg, number 1. You said before this game you feel like Jefferson's the best team. They probably didn't do anything to take themselves out of your number 1 spot, even though we didn't see the game. They took care of business tonight at 41-7. In fact, the Cavaliers have outscored their first 2 opponents 79-14.
Well, and I think what you have, I mean, we're both seeing it, is you have 4 good teams. Now, which one's going to come out on the top at the end of the season? Who knows? And then you have Washington and O'Gorman at that 5 and 6 spot. Is what I would say for AAA football.
Yeah.
And I think those 2 teams have a little ways to go to get up to the top. They don't have the playmakers that the other teams have, but I think we saw tonight that Lincoln has the playmakers. Yes. Can they do it all 4 quarters and not be so careless with the football? Whereas Jefferson, I think, has one of the more complete teams. So does Harrisburg, and we have not seen Brandon Valley yet, though.
We have not, and we won't next week, but we will learn a lot more about these Patriots and those Jefferson Cavaliers. The President's Bowl is next Saturday afternoon at Howard Wood Field, and we'll start things at 3 o'clock. We'll have both games right here on the simulcast. Jefferson and Washington will kick off at 3:30, and then Roosevelt and Lincoln to follow. looking forward to those matchups. Curtis, I look forward to being with your son Peyton on that broadcast.
Yeah.
Safe travels to Madison, Wisconsin.
I mean, people need to realize he's not as good looking on the radio as I am.
Yep.
And not as smart either. I mean, are you going to the Husker game tomorrow?
No, I'll tell you why off the air, but
Okay.
it is expensive. Yeah, yeah.
I told
wish.
you they've done such a great job promoting this. That also has increased that ticket value.
For sure, but
Yeah.
it'll be fun to watch for sure. For Curtis Riggs and the intrepid crew here at Metro Sports TV, led by owner Pat Schultz and director of Sioux Falls operations Brad Newitt, and our technical crew tonight led by Chad Berger. Our radio postgame show will continue in a moment on Fox Sports 91, but we bid you adieu on the visual side of things. Lincoln 36, O'Gorman 19 at McEnany Field. You can watch the replays of this game shortly hereafter on Metro Sports TV. Good night from Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Hello. Whether you're in the city, on a farm, or in a sort of big town, your Avera is always nearby. Our culture of compassion makes us a trusted health system, so you have confidence in our care when and where you need it. Comprehensive health insurance coverage you can count on, and trust that we are investing in your community so everyone can thrive. Team Green never stops working for you. That's how Avera moves your health forward.